You came back? You actually came back. And I am not surprised, because I know exactly what part one did to you. I felt it in every single comment you left. The anger, the confusion, the grief for a woman and two little girls you never even met. That is the power of Shanann's story. And we are not done yet. But before we go any further, I need you to do something for me right now. Type Bella and Cece in the comment section. Just those two names, nothing else. Because before we press play on part 2, those little girls deserve to have their names said out loud. Let this comment section be filled with their names today. And while you are down there, hit that like button right now. Not for me, for Shanann, a woman who spent her entire marriage fighting to be seen and valued by the one person who was supposed to love her most. One tap is your way of saying, Shanann, I see you. I am here. Do it for her. Do it for Bella and Cece. Do it for the baby boy who never got the chance to take his first breath. Now, before we press play, I need to check in with my family for a second. My people. You know that this channel is more than just true crime for me. It is personal, deeply personal. Because I too know what it means to lose a parent to murder. Not one parent, both of them. And every single case I cover on this channel, I carry a piece of my own story into it, a piece of my own pain, a piece of my own unanswered questions. And you all have walked that road with me in a way that I will never be able to fully put into words. Genuinely, you are the family I never had, and I mean that from the deepest part of me. Now, I have an update for you. I told you in part 1 that I had set up a meeting with the individual who reached out claiming to have information about my parents' case. That meeting is still happening, and I know so many of you have been praying for me and sending the most beautiful messages of support. I feel every single one. I want you to know that. And I promise the moment I have something to share, I will bring it straight to you, right here, to my family first, always. But right now, I need one thing from you. If you are believing with me that this meeting brings answers, that it brings some form of justice for my parents, type I am believing with you in the comments right now. Let me see it. Let me feel your support before we go into what is honestly one of the hardest parts of this interview to sit through. Now, part 2 is where things get significantly darker. He goes deeper into the children, deeper into his obsession with Nicole Kessinger, deeper into the details of that night. And there is one specific moment in this recording that made me stop and pause completely the first time I heard it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to find it yourself. And when you do, drop it in the comments because I promise you it will shake you. If you have not watched part 1 yet, stop right now and go back. You need that foundation before you step into what is coming here. For my new family members, welcome. Genuinely welcome. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications because you do not want to miss a single part of this series. Now, breathe. Say their names one more time in your heart and let us continue.
Just to tell you. Yeah.
Did you know walking in there that you were going to tell us? Or did you think?
I didn't. I mean, I knew there was a reason you brought me back in. I know. Well, for the.
What did you think about the polygraph?
That was horrible.
Why did you say
I
that?
don't know how you do that.
Why did you say that?
Because Tammy's a torturer.
I'm not.
No, like. I mean,
Tell me.
You answered. Oh, you asked me questions for like 3 or 4 hours beforehand, and then you do the polygraph, and it's like you just break down somebody's brain to where like.
Too much or what?
Jello, and it's just like I know it's you guys have a job and you have a plan, and that's what we executed it.
So she's thorough, right? There's just no way to get out of there without the truth.
No, I mean I kind of knew like because right when he asked me about like Saturday night, when I told your brother walking in, I was like, man, she was like going through it.
Well, we did know. We found out about Nikki right before the polygraph.
I figured that out after with meeting with John and everybody that she had met with somebody from the CBI, like on the 14th or the 15th. I was just like, wait, they were talking. Oh, okay. So you already knew. So, but
I mean, I didn't know how extensive it was, but yes, we knew.
Yeah, I mean, walking in there that day, just walking into that room, I knew I wasn't walking out.
Yeah,
Just the feeling I had walking in that room.
yeah,
Just, you know, I mean, I don't remember if the polygraph stuff was already in there. I think it was,
it was, yeah.
but it was, I knew it.
I just feel like sometimes when people, you know, do the bad thing and they stay, like, some part of me thinks, well, I think they're here because they really want to tell us what happened. Because it's not normal that you want to keep all that in. Like, that just kills people on the inside. And I could tell it was killing me that day.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like that. 13th, when I slept in the house, I did nothing. I don't think I slept maybe like 2 hours because I just finally just got so tired. I just fell asleep. After I had every light on, nothing felt right.
What were you thinking about during your media interviews?
I didn't want to do it.
Why did you do it? Did you feel like you had to do it?
I felt like, you know, they would have just kept knocking on my door. Yeah. Until I answered it, and like I didn't even set it up, but you know, Nicole Atkinson set it up. She told me, "Hey, Fox is gonna set it up." She said, "Fox is gonna be at your house at 10:30." Like, what? Like, okay. And you know, I think I even called you about it. Like, what do you recommend that I do? And he's like, "It's kind of up to you." Well, like, okay. And I called one of her friends. You know, what should I do? And she said I probably wouldn't do it, but I just felt like, you know, I don't even want to know what I said, what I looked like on there, because I knew it. Some people said it just made it look even worse after the fact, but
It didn't look good. I mean, obviously we can't say, oh, we knew right then he was lying, but I think we all watched it together and went, this might be bad.
yeah, I mean,
I had that feeling after I watched it. Well, I could kind of see it in your face.
it's like I was just lying to more and more people, and it was just like
Do you have internet access here?
no.
Say, don't get into that trap of putting in watch
What
all
crap? Oh,
the social media trap and all that.
No, they don't
Ridiculous.
let you have social media here yet, go. I think some of the GP guys are getting like these little like tablets or something that are like, you know, the size of like a older iPhone or something. I think they can use like email, but I'm not sure about like social media. No, definitely no social media. But like, I'm not sure about internet or not, but this place is kind of like, you know, a dead zone fire for the phone anyways. I would think.
I don't know. We're getting service, which is weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would.
Right here.
Yeah, right in this room.
Maybe this is kind of like a hub of
Yeah. Yeah,
This is the spot.
yeah, it's computer room, you would hope they'd have.
Did you talk to Nikki afterwards? After all this happened?
on the 13th and the 14th.
What was that conversation like?
It was the 13th, kind of like, you know, it was more text and then maybe a phone call, like a phone call. And then she thought maybe she had like took off with the kids, like just, you know, because I was telling her I didn't know where they were and all that. And then the 14th, she kind of like, I think she kind of thought something may have happened because they hadn't come back.
Why do you say that she might have thought that?
Her, you know, she kept asking me like some weird questions. Like she kept asking like questions that only I would know, but she was testing to see if like it was actually me on the phone. Like,
What do you mean?
like she would ask like, you know, like what's my dog's name, or like what do I like, what yoga studio do I go to, or something like that. And just like, like I'm just answer like and then like another thing, like, I'm not sure if this is you. And it's like, okay.
Is this through text or is this through calls?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't hearing your voice. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it possible she thought you'd been arrested and we were on the phone?
more either Shanann had my phone or somebody else had my phone, or like maybe, you know, maybe she thought it was the
Well, hopefully Shanann would know all the answers to those questions, right?
No, this is like Nikki asking me.
Yeah, but if she's asking you your name of your dog and what yoga studio, and
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Well, maybe she thought, you know, maybe I was with Shanann, that she was just trying to find out who she was. Yeah, like some of the conversation, like on the 14th, got a little weird. I think that's when she met with CBI or something, or FBI. I'm not sure who she met with first.
So she talked to you after she met with?
Nope.
Oh,
I was like, she had told me like, this is the last time you'll probably hear from me. I'm going to stay at my friend Jim's place. All this is all going on. She said not to contact her until this is done. She told me to delete everything, and I didn't delete everything. I just okay. I'm not sure why I didn't delete everything, but probably helped you guys out a little bit. But
She told you to delete everything?
delete all conversations.
Did she tell you why?
That delete it. I don't think you can ever delete a text message.
we're pretty good at getting deleted text messages.
Did, when your dad came in, one of the first things you guys talked about, he said, you know, kind of quietly, I cheated on her, I cheated on Shannon or something. Your dad didn't know until that time?
No, they had, when I was in North Carolina on August 6th, when I spent most of the day with my parents and my sister and everybody, you know, they had, I had told them like something like, you know, this, I don't think this is gonna work, like, or with what happened with the nuts and everything, and they're not being able to see the kids, they're like, you know, this is the first time they had talked to me, and pretty much.
Okay, you went 3 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, because Shannon told me to call him while I was at the beach just to smooth everything out, because she was like, all right, whatever's going on in your head, you need to fix this. But she didn't want the kids to see him. She didn't want to see him. And then, like, when I did see him on August 6th, it was after I went and saw my grandmother. She was in a nursing home. And she still wouldn't let me go see my parents or anybody with the kids. So I just told her to leave me there, and my dad come pick me up, and, you know, spent the whole day there. They were, you know, they said they want to see the kids. They just don't know if they could ever, like, you know, just forgive Shan for everything that happened that day. I guess, I mean, I'm not sure, like, everything that was said that day when they had that argument, but apparently it was like a knockdown, drag out, like, wow, it went on.
Pretty hurtful thing.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. And, you know, they just don't know, like, if they could ever forgive her or not. And I just, like, I never told them about, like, you know, cheating on her. Like, they even asked me if it was somebody else.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
So they could kind of sense maybe something was going on.
Yeah, because I think he was texting the entire time I was over there. It's like, they could kind of see, like, I was texting somebody. But it was like, they kind of, maybe they kind of knew, like, even like when I was in San Diego talking to my friend Mark, I told him about Nikki, but I didn't tell him, like, I was going to meet up with her.
Okay.
I told him that, you know, I was trying to, like,
Mr.
I should have just told him right then. Maybe that would have helped.
With regard to count number one.
I know maybe he had an instance where there was a girl coming after him, and she was engaged, and
To
he ended up getting with her, and then
Colorado Department.
they were together, and then she cheated on him.
Is this before he was married or during?
No.
It was after.
possibility of parole.
But like he could have, you know, helped me, but I just, you know, I never told him the whole thing. That, you know, it was
All but count.
a lot further along than I wanted it to be.
That's interesting to think about, right? This dad would give him some good advice.
Yeah, everybody.
Degree.
Now this is my friend Mark.
Oh, I know.
Okay. When I was in San Diego.
Oh, I gotcha.
So you think you told Mark about that, hoping that he maybe question you about it, or?
Well, I was, because, you know, Mark, my best friend, you know, I grew up with him since I was like 8-9 years old. So, like,
Sentence you as a
he had been married before, and
to life.
it didn't work out. I guess they were stationed together or something, like, over in Korea. And, I should have just came out with, like, the whole story, like, you know, like,
Relating to Bell.
I just told him there was this girl at work that, you know, I've been talking to, but I'm just distancing myself from her. But that wasn't the case. I was just letting it, you know, exponentially get worse. If I told him, like, hey, you know,
First degree murder.
Yeah.
he would have been like, whoa, man, like, all right, take a step back and look. And, like, don't, like, fall into that trap.
Of pregnancy.
Being you're going to be alone for 5 weeks.
Child that
And there's times I wish, you know, like, maybe Shannon didn't have to go away for 5 weeks. Maybe we all just went for 1 week. Yeah, nothing was ever happened.
appropriate to run consecutive.
It's only, I mean, 5 weeks alone, that's the only reason really that was even almost even allowed to happen.
Of 3 years as set forth.
There are quite a few people who would tell us and who do tell us
Number 7,
you need to look into Nikki more, Nikki Kissinger.
tampering,
All the way from the extreme end of things being Nikki's the one who ordered the hit.
9, each a class
She was there. I'm in the basement.
You were there.
Yeah.
code
You know, so the extreme is she's the one who told Chris to do it. She's the real problem.
for those.
All the way, that's the extreme side, and then all the way to, well, there were these texts where she was infatuated, she was in love, she was saying how good Chris was in the sack, and maybe we should look at her more. You know, what would you say to those people?
Grant the
Like,
prosecution.
you know, she had her moments where I had to talk her like off a ledge kind of deal.
What's that mean?
It's like, I guess after the fact, there was like videos of her that she was like recording herself because she was like bipolar or something. I never knew that. But there, it's like, and she would get worked up about nothing. She would just like,
Your seat, there is
she came to my house once because I think it was like July
exit the
4th.
remain
I didn't have to work that day.
you are.
So I didn't like get up at like, 4 o'clock and go home. And she called me like, and I didn't hear it because I was sleeping.
Ask
I was just like-
defendant into custody.
And she was pissed. Shanann was pissed. And like I called her outside, like, where are you at? Like what? Like, I was like, I didn't have to work today. It was like, called me at like 5:30. It's like, here's when I talk to you. It's 7:30. I'm like I was sleeping. She's like, she just like, screw you. Like, like I don't know where you're at. And I went back inside. So I'm like, I gotta go. And she was just like, okay, then you come back? And like, probably not.
So wait a minute, you kind of lost me there. Were you at Nikki's place when
Yeah.
Shanann called you?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you were sleeping in her bed.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to work that day because I didn't have to that day. That first holiday I ever had off. And, Shanann was pissed and, kind of pissed Nikki off too that I left. But I think that's when I called Nikki later and she was like, she kind of realized that, she'd always be like, the second, she said second fill. That's right. And because that's how I probably would come like that day. Just, I don't want to be anywhere else when Shanann calls. She was already pissed. So it was stuff like that where she would she would go, she said she would go on like websites and look at like will a relationship work with somebody, like will a mistress work, will a mistress trying to do a relationship.
That's what Nikki was looking at?
Yeah.
She would tell you that, or you
told me that.
Okay.
Yeah, she said that she would go on websites and look at stuff like that. I was like, why do you even look at stuff like that? She's like, I just want to see what other people have experienced.
But like, so that confuses me though, because I thought earlier you were saying she thought you were heading toward a divorce. So why was she looking at herself as a mistress?
This was later on.
Oh,
Like, in August, like the first week of August, when I told her, like, I had had that talk with her about separation.
uh-huh.
That's when, like, she started looking at, like, apartments and stuff. But, like, during our July relationship type thing there,
Oh, I see.
that's when she was looking up, like, will it actually work? She told her friend Brittany about it, I guess, and Brittany told her not to do it, but she said she already made a decision.
Okay. And so, are those people absolutely wrong about Nikki? She wasn't asking you to get rid of your family?
No.
Are you sure? Okay. And no part of any of this was because she put it in your head or asked you to, or?
You never, I mean, this whole relationship contributed to it, sure, but she didn't want me to.
I mean, was it ever like, I wish you didn't have kids. I want to have, kids of my own with you. Like,
She never knew if she wanted to have kids, but she said that, at one point she said, I'd like to give you a son.
did she know that Shanann was pregnant with a boy?
No,
Did she know Shanann was pregnant?
no,
And why is that? You just didn't tell her?
I didn't know. Like, because we had met.
But Shanann put that on Facebook.
That's,
Like, how did she not see
I
that?
don't know. Maybe she did. She just wait, we'd tell her, or she put it out of her head.
Can I ask you a question? A lot of people think you named Nico after Nikki. So what was that?
Nico was actually named as Shanann Mike.
Okay. Shanann thought of that one?
Yeah, I wanted to spell it like N-E-K-O. I thought it was like Nico that way. But she said N-I-C-O. I thought it would like sound like Nico or something.
Okay.
Because Nico is more of like an Italian name.
Italian, yeah.
So and like she did leave her, you know, my middle name, my dad, and all that. But like Nico is like that's a name that she always liked.
Did she name all the kids? Did she name Bella and Celeste?
Yeah, Bella because Italian means beautiful. Marie, mom's middle name. Celeste is her grandmother's name. Catherine's middle name.
Did you have any input in their names?
I just liked them. I was like, if we had a third child, you know, I was gonna, maybe we could have like Lee in the middle name, but I knew like the girls' names, and you know, I love those names, so it's like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like with the, you know, we have little nicknames for them, you know, like Belle and Belladine and CC, obviously. So that's good, but yeah, Nico was. Yeah.
Can we go back to the house on the 13th? So, at one point, right when you got back there, Coonrod was there, Officer Coonrod, and Nicole was there. And then you went in the house in there for about a minute or so before you let everybody in. Remember what you were doing in there at that time?
So I went into the garage,
Right.
and then I ran around and I opened the front door.
Yeah.
Opened the front door did everybody come in through the garage or the front door?
Everybody comes through the front door.
Yeah, so I came in, I went in through there, and I came in and opened the front door, and I ran upstairs. And I just was like I was looking around.
Okay. That's after everybody? Did you go around the house at all before you opened the front door? No.
I didn't run around the house. I stayed down on the bottom floor, and then
Yeah.
went and opened the door.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
And I ran upstairs and everybody else, and that's when Nicole's son was on the phone, and I was going from snack, like I was walking through the house.
Yeah.
She didn't have her bra on. Was that normal that she was sleeping in her bra?
Every once in a while, I mean, she just got home from the plane, so she didn't even take off her makeup or anything. Maybe she was just that tired. But normally, I don't know.
Did it not come off when you guys had sex?
I don't think so. Sometimes she just, you know, she keeps her shirt on and she doesn't want me to do anything. It's like, she wants what she wants. She knew what she wanted. That's what she wanted.
Was it just missionary sex?
Yep.
And when her final resting place, was that just naturally what she was wearing? You didn't change her or anything like that? Okay.
Did you have to see any of that stuff? Pictures or anything? No.
That's not true. They said I could. I was like, no, I don't want. I've prayed for those hazmat workers. That I'm sure it was hazmat, right? That had the.
We were part of it.
Yeah. And it's like,
We were all there.
We were all there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I never wanted to see it. I just prayed for those, but I had to be there. So I never wanted to know what the aftermath was. And they said, like, you know, if this ever got like a preliminary hearing, that I would have to see him just to be prepared and not have a reaction, an initial reaction. But I was like, I don't want to see him.
Do you feel like your lawyers were fair to you?
Yeah, I mean, they were my only human contact, really. You know, they're kind of like almost like a guidance counselor, almost.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were driving the bus though, with your decisions you made?
Yeah,
or no?
I was like, there was a lot of things I didn't really know what was going on behind the scenes. Like,
Sure.
maybe there was a lot of things they never told me. Like, like stuff that came out like afterwards, like the whole Nikki Kessler article and Devin Post and all that kind of stuff. They told me like afterwards and everything, but it was. I always felt like anything I was telling them, they were gonna do. Like the whole taking the plea deal and everything, I told them that's what I wanted to do, and they asked me like, seems like 100 times, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? Like, once you sign this, like, I guess like up until sentencing, I had the time to like, back out, but like they always, even before we walked in the courtroom, like, are you sure? So yeah, this is it. Like, okay. They never told me this is what you have to do. Mm-hmm. They always just said, this is your decision, like, if you want to take this farther, where, you know, and John said he was ready. He had all kinds of motions written, all kinds of stuff that were like really creative, and because he'd never been in something like this before, and he was ready to fight. And I was just like, I didn't want you to have to do that. Not for me, not for something that the story isn't hard, isn't true. Because it would just only got worse for everybody, for all three of you, for everybody that was involved in it.
Are you still glad you did?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be in prison the rest of my life, but like I don't want people to have to keep going through this every day of their lives, knowing that, you know, there's a trial hanging over their head, or, I mean, if it ever got that far, I don't know. Yeah. But like, I didn't want people to have to relive it every day.
Yeah.
Did they have to ever see the pictures?
Say that again.
Did they have to ever see the pictures? Frank and Sandy and all them?
No, they've never seen them.
They saw some things.
They didn't see anything back.
Okay.
Yeah, we shielded that from them.
That's one thing, I just didn't want them to have to see anything or hear anybody talk about what any part of it. Or like, you know, anybody best their daughter, you know, like anybody to ruin, like, you know, they hear what, you know, some of my friends had a negative, you know, impact on her, from her, or like had a description of her that didn't match, you know, something like that. I didn't want them to hear that either, but I didn't want them, like, you know, anybody had to trash her memory. Like, I wanted, like, them to know, like, she was, you know, she's loving life, she's beautiful, she always helped everybody else, all her friends, her Lucas friends, everybody. I just wanted, I didn't want anybody to take away what she did.
We tried to get you to say that night, I know, but, do you remember
I
that?
remember, I was just like,
I know you obviously weren't ready to say that then.
it's like, you know, like after my dad left, we both came in, like, all right, we got most of the story, let's get to the true story. I was like, I just wanted to bang my head against the table.
But in the end, I think you did the right thing. And even though it's hard to hear, there's a lot of people who thank you for what you did. You know, I think your whole life has been thinking of others, except for one brief moment. You know, I think you really did think of others when you made that choice. So I personally thank you, right? Because it would have been hard for the three of us to go through this hard, and for everyone else about that hard, right?
Yeah, it was anybody that was family or friends,
Right.
But, you know, just exponentially harder for everybody.
Yeah. You did the right thing.
So you haven't told your parents what happened, you just told them I'm pleading guilty for a reason?
And I've told them, like, on the phone, even, because they're still,
You should fight it, you should get,
they've got letters from, like, Australia, from England, I mean, of, like, the 35C in Colorado and stuff, like, you know, improper counsel or something like that.
Effective counsel.
Effective counsel, and, I mean, some of the stuff they've, you know, they said about, you know, the dry patch, how it's not like FDA approved, how it can alter somebody's mind, like, there was some kind of condition, but there's something else they call like CPSD, complex, post-traumatic stress disorder, something like that. Have been like, some people from England have had it. It's like, they've been in an emotionally abusive relationship or something. I mean, it's like, you know, some of those subjects they put in there, like, yeah, I can relate to it, but like, it doesn't make up for the fact what happened. But like, they've got a lot of support they've got a lot of hate mail, a lot of phone calls, a lot of, like, you know, stuff like that. I wish they never happened. But they, you know, they get some support, which is good. But on the phone, they still think, you know, there's a chance that I could get out.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to ever think your kid's going away forever, like,
They, I mean, they,
You don't want to battle.
They tell me to fight it, like, you know, they don't, not every day, but on their bad days,
Yeah.
they'll get a bad message or a bad letter, and then they'll just revert back.
is it more your mom or your dad?
My mom, she loses it a lot.
Yeah.
On the phone, my dad's usually trying to, you know, like, hey, don't talk about this stuff when you're on the phone with him. Because it's gonna rile you up, and it's gonna make him go back to his cell, and he's just gonna think about that all night.
Right,
And that's what happens, like.
yeah.
Would you ever want them to know what you're telling us today?
I'd rather just tell them myself.
Yeah.
So they're coming, I think they're gonna try to make a visit on like May or so.
So they don't, do they still think that Shanann killed him?
They still believe that, even though I told them I pled guilty for a reason, but they think that I was, their words like railroaded by belief.
Yeah.
Because they, you know, they felt like they pressured me to do it.
Well,
Do you feel like that?
No.
No.
They asked me plenty of times. This is like, you know, they wanted to fight. Like if I said fight, they would have just, you know, gone and,
On their gloves?
yeah, just went in there and did it. You know, and it's like, no, I can't have you do that.
So Chris, you care about others deeply. I can tell. You worry about others. And I've asked you, you know, a bunch of times today, but you're not just telling us that you did it because you feel bad for Shanann's memory. You did it? Okay.
I have to say, like, you know, after this was all over, you know, people would bring up, like, oh my gosh, I bet you're going to find out that Chris, you know, used to torture animals and, you know, all this stuff. You can imagine, like, you know, hearing that someone's capable of that, what have they done in their past, those kinds of things. Can you think back to your past at all, like your childhood, and think about any other moments that maybe you felt this same rage? I mean, obviously you didn't do anything like that, but maybe felt that rage and like what would have triggered that or anything like that.
Not really. I mean, I was always like somebody that tried to coax people down, not to, like, if somebody wanted to fight somebody else. I think I got in a fight like when I was in third grade, but it was like, you know, we ripped each other's shirt, went away crying. You know, it was like stupid. I was like, why did I do that? And like maybe that was like my only like bad thing I did in school. So I can't think of
Did you
anything.
feel it on the inside, whether you didn't act it out? Like, did you feel like if someone bullied you at school or if someone whatever, like, would it still be inside you? Like, did you feel like that even though you didn't actually act on it?
I don't believe, because I was always, you know, I never really talked to many people. So I mean, people knew who I was, but they didn't really, I mean, I never really spoke to many people. That's why I never really had a girlfriend in high school. I mean, I was always kind of like, just under the radar.
Did you feel like you had low self-esteem?
Mostly low self-esteem. It was just like, I didn't want to be part of like a group or a clique. I just like, you know, I had a couple friends, so I had a lunch table with them and, or sat out, they call it like a fish pond area, and, you know, just chilled out there. And I didn't really want a whole lot of friends. It's kind of like just a close knit. And I just wasn't out there. I mean, like I said, people knew who I was, but it wasn't out of like I was popular or anything.
Can you attribute that to anything in your childhood? Why you were like
My
that?
sister was always the popular one. She was more like my mom, like more like outgoing, and like me and my grandma would always sit outside in middle school waiting for her to come out and pick her up, and she'd always be the last one out. She'd talk to everybody in the hallway. And my grandma would always like, where's she at? Does she know we're waiting? But, you know, I was just the opposite of her. It's like, sometimes you have kids that are like the same, and some you have opposite. Me and my sister were the opposite. Maybe I just drew on that I didn't want to be the popular one. I wanted to be just, you know, just a regular guy. But there was not really like bullying or not like I remember nobody ever really came up to me or wanted to fight me or.
Never got made fun of, never.
I mean, I had braces and I had like a bowl cut for a while. I guess it could have made me fun.
You most kids did.
80s and 90s are cool.
Like a Jim Carrey cut with the bowl on your head. I didn't worry them around, but yeah, I don't think there was anything that would be pent up inside me from
From childhood.
childhood.
I know you talked about your dad having an addiction when I was talking to you.
That was after I left. I left home.
Was it cocaine or something, or
It was some type of powder. I'm not sure if that
Okay.
was cocaine. I guess
how
that's.
do you think that affected you?
I don't think it affected me. Well, it did affect me, but it didn't like take like deep down. It didn't like really hurt as much as I thought it would. It was kind of weird because of my thing with my mom and my sister told me. Like when they talked to him about it, it didn't seem to register. Like I said, like he would just change subject. And like when I talked about it, he eventually immediately changed subject. like, because they found like, cuts on his like CDs and stuff where he would like, separate it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He had a car dealership. I mean, find guys that do that kind of stuff all the time, I guess. But he was just coping with like, I never came back home. And that was before I met Shanann. And it was just,
Did you feel guilty that he's now using drugs because you never came back home, like he lost his kid?
I never really knew why he was doing it. After the fact, I knew it was because he was coping with that, but I never knew why he really actually turned to drugs. My mom thought he was having an affair because all this money was going somewhere else, just for drugs. But like, I'm not myself. I never used drugs, so I always try to tell him like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, why do you need to use this? And it's like, you could use this for a whole lot better things. Just don't throw your life away. I mean, like, because you can see in his face, like, it's like eyes were like everything was getting like, like the blood in your face, and like your skin was getting all loose, and like he was losing a lot of weight. And nose was bleeding all the time, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I was telling him like, hey, you smoked like every day of your life since you were like 15 or 16. I can't get you to stop that, but I can get you to stop this.
Right.
And he put it away, I guess, pretty quick after I talked to him about it.
Do you think you were closer to your dad than your mom? Yeah.
Yeah, we always went to races together, and just, he always came to my sports, played for a couple school sports, rec ball, all that kind of stuff, My mom would come too sometimes, but my dad was always there. Always there, yeah. Even if I wasn't playing, he'd just come there just in case I can't win in there.
Oh,
So, that's cool.
yeah. Well, I wondered if they hadn't visited because they weren't ready to visit, or if it was a money thing, or, like,
Is it here or?
time off.
Colorado?
Yeah, you. Like,
Is it here?
yeah, visit here.
Well, I just told him, like, we can't drive in the snow, so it's not like, I don't want.
These roads are bad.
Yeah, it's, I think it's like an hour from either Madison Airport, whichever
Yep.
way it is. I told them, like, wait till springtime.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
It was yesterday.
Funny. They get here.
They sold my toolbox. Get some money to come out here. Okay. So, yeah, so they'll come out here, like, they said April, but I was like, no, just maybe push it till June. They said they can somehow have a blizzard out here in April.
Yeah.
Too. I'm like,
Late spring weather, yeah.
so the lake effect stuff's crazy.
Yeah. And how are you doing mentally?
I mean, the first time I didn't know I was coming here. Obviously, when I was at DRDC, like,
I'll spook you up, didn't you?
I was there a week. Like, first day I got there, they put me to the ringer. Like, I had like 11 tests to do, like mental tests, like reading, math, all kinds of stuff, just to see where my IQ was. And then I just sat there the rest of the week. And then Sunday came along, and after dinner, they said, "All right, strip down and put this on." Okay, and then walked outside and put me in the van. I'm just like, okay. I had no idea what was going on. And then we stopped in Sterling, which really freaked me out. I was just like, I don't want to do this, because I heard so many horror stories about that place. And they just stopped to use the bathroom, and then we kept going.
In the prison? Do they use the bathroom at the prison?
Yeah, it was like at the watchtower outside.
Oh. And
We went to Nebraska, sheriff's office there, and then another sheriff's office in Iowa. Used the bathroom, eat breakfast, and then got here. I asked him, I only talked to him once. I'm like, can you tell me, like, where we're going? Like, just a destination state? He's like, I don't know. So it was like one of those, like, transport vans, like, it was like at just the middle where I was sitting there, and I could see out the window, and I could see, like, they would put in an address each time. Like, they had like 4 sets of addresses. Each one they had to go to. They just would never tell me where we were gonna end up.
what did they say your IQ was?
And I was like 140, 35 or something like that.
Is that high? I don't even know what.
That's feeling good about that.
Yeah. It was taking me back to high school for real. Like,
Trained in parts of the city on all that stuff.
yeah, there was a lot of word problems, a lot of like geometry, a lot of like, patterns. Like, if this was moved this way, and then it was like a series of them. Like, all right, what's this going to be? Just a lot of stuff like that. But like the further you got along, harder it got. I'm just like, it's like great. It was like, they give you this little, take that pen and take the little tube out in the middle. That's where you're using to fill in the little Scantron sheets and everything. Felt like a little high school again.
Do you know how long you're gonna be here? Neither do I, by the way. You know, are you going to get a job?
Since I'm staying here, since I'm gotten staffed here, they have to work.
Oh, so what's your job now?
I'm helping you.
Okay.
They had to move me out of the acceptance and evaluation, assessment and evaluation
You're
function.
still in that phase? Okay, and how long will that take?
Oh, right now, like, stuff and staff here, I'm just waiting for them to move me over to a different unit.
And are you in, Gen Pop right now?
No, I'm in a unit, there's like 11 or 12 of us on there. There was like 22 when I first got there, but they've been transferred to the other prisons around.
And what are the other guys like?
They're fine. Like the first time, like I sat out and ate like a breakfast or lunch when I was scared.
Are you nervous here?
Yeah, I was just like, this hasn't happened like not since, I just never happened.
Yeah.
Like I said, they locked the hallways down when I got moved to Colorado.
Well, I've heard that. Yeah.
So it was like, being next, like right like this, eating next to somebody, I was just like, they're gonna like take a sport and try to stab me or something or what? But it's totally different here. I mean, people know who I am, but like they don't like, run at me or jump at me or like, apparently the guys that work here, they know that I guess other maxes are like, you can lock down like 22 hours a day.
Oh, so then this isn't a hard place to be?
For like other max guys. They said it's the best max for the worst medium.
Oh,
Because if you're max, you're working, so you're out at your cell working, like if you're a clerk or if you're in the kitchen or if you're in the rec area, you're doing something.
okay.
But yeah, they said like if you get staffed here, it'll be best for you. Plus, they said it's not as like rowdy as some of the other places.
Oh, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm going to the GP area. I just don't know when.
And you think it'll be while you're here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they said like I guess it could take it takes a while to get moved from max to medium because in Colorado I was classified as minimum restrictive, but with the charges it would have been medium. But here it's automatic max.
And what are the other guys in board,
They said most guys in here for like gang snitches and sex offenders and mainly people that have 20 years or more.
So people who were in for a long time and who would otherwise have a pretty hard time at a jail, for whatever they did, whether it be snitching or
Yeah, like
children. Or,
yeah, there's some people from other states here as well, and I guess there's a couple cops here too.
okay.
Just things have happened, and they just don't think it'd be better. It'd be a lot better if they're here and not in another.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what kind of jobs are available?
Well, it's like they'll probably have me in the kitchen, or like that's where everybody starts out, like either washing dishes or like putting food on the trays or helping pots and pans, something like that. So they have like libraries, they have like, I think this is the PSU area, the psych area, so they'll have like different guys doing clerk stuff around here. I mean, they have over like 300 GP guys here that are like live here. So they have a job for every one of them.
Wow.
There's even a guy that shovels the sidewalks.
I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. Not here.
Do you go to therapy? Do you see a psychologist?
There's actually the one her name's like Javier or something like that. She seemed like once a month. And she's actually from Aurora.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. I walked in, I saw a Bronco flag. I'm like, okay, who are you? But yeah, it's.
So does she give you therapy or?
No, she just like talks to me just to see if I need anything or like if I need psych meds or if I need anything like that, which I've declined all that stuff. But most people in my unit have meds.
Just to have them, or do you think they need them?
Well, it's like a special management unit. Like they just put me on there to keep me away from GP. And like most people either like just have like some type of medication they're on.
You don't take anything?
No. They just keep me on there until security advisor says, you know, he can get moved to GP down the hall.
What kind of stuff like food and stuff do you miss the most from the outside?
Food?
Yeah.
Well, I know from, you know, the last time in North Carolina, Bojangles, that was really good. I don't know if you guys ever go to North Carolina or no?
Is that barbecue?
That's like, it's chicken and biscuits. And that barbecue place down the street from the PD. Pretty good one.
Smokehouse,
Yeah.
George Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the burn ends, I miss that. And just, you know, I miss Stan's cooking. That's for sure. Like her spaghetti sauce and her fried pizza. Well,
Fried pizza.
I don't think I've heard of that. What is that?
Never.
her mom has, or I think it was her mom, her grandmother, on her mom's side, had this like this dough, homemade dough you can make, and just make up the dough, and she would make it up with Bella and Celeste sometimes, with like a little smaller one, but she'd make the really big one, and then she would put it in the oven, the bottom oven, let it sit there for a couple hours, not put it on or anything, just let it rise, and then once it's done, take it out, form it, throw the spaghetti sauce she has, spread it around, and throw the mozzarella and pepperoni and put it on the oven 350, and
But what part of it is fried though?
well, they have some parts that you can put on the grill, you can put
Okay.
it on the stove too.
Okay.
It's really good. I mean, it's really thick.
Yeah.
So you got,
Apparently we need this.
Yeah.
Sandy.
I will work on that.
Yes. Write a note.
Are you able to stay out of trouble here?
yeah, no,
Nobody's getting any fights. You're not getting written up for anything. You're not getting.
I try to keep a little bit out here, so I don't want to, because they say if you get like 2 contact reports, they'll ship you out if you work here. Pay a lot.
To another location.
Yeah.
Oh, so then does that incentivize people getting their nose down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess a couple guys got busted for a cell phone.
Oh,
How we got it in?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like that stuff just baffles my mind how that stuff gets to.
I mean, they won't even let, like, if somebody sends me a letter and it has like, even, like someone sent me a Christmas card with glitter on it, they'll let me have it because it's glitter. I'm like, "Huh?" 'Cause, like, it's contraband. So like, yeah, I don't have people get cell phones and stuff in here.
So what do you do with all these letters that are coming into you?
Most of them, like, I just have like this, if somebody writes me once, I'll never write them, just because I don't know like who they are, like where they're from. I'll keep it. If it's like a weird letter, I'll straight up throw it away. If it's like a supportive letter, I'll keep it around, just like, you know, a supportive letter. And then like I've had some people like write me like a second, third time, but they've changed the way they talk, or like they've said different things. Like there's like this dude in like California that wrote me. He's a senior in high school, and wrote. He's like, okay, dude. I look up the name, like, okay, shred it up, threw it away. He wrote me again like 2 weeks ago. Totally different. Like never mentioned like his age, never mentioned his setting, like, hey, like I support you, I'm like all this, like that. Like if I didn't recognize his name, I would have known like he was just an 18-year-old kid, senior, trying to just like probably just get information. Trying to, you know, because there's been like journalists and like other people like you could kind of tell like they ask a lot of questions. But I try to like take into effect who's writing me and like just not to respond. Like I've responded to a few people just because like either my parents have talked to them on the outside and then I kind of know, okay, it's a real person.
Oh,
But like there's some people that like it seems like they're just trying like to get help for themselves too. Like some people ask like, you know, like just for spiritual advice.
they're asking for spiritual advice from you.
Yeah, like, you know, if they're not asking about the case, I'll write them back. If they ask about the case, I don't write them back.
Yeah.
You think you'll be in love again? There's a lot of women out there that are in love with you.
No. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not the guy that's down the street or whatever it is. I've heard enough about that guy since I've been here.
What have you heard about him?
He got engaged over a letter.
He did, yeah.
That's pretty insane. But yeah, I don't see myself being in love ever again.
Do you have some ladies that are giving you a lot of Like just telling you that they're in love with you and that kind of stuff.
Well, I've had a couple letters that have been like, I hear you get a lot of letters from lady friends that tell you all you need to know. I'm like, I don't get those letters. Trust me. Like I guess there was one letter in Colorado, someone sent me a picture of them in a bikini, and then it's like went on from there. That was like the only letter I ever got. That was like that, but the press took it and just went with it.
Yeah.
Hey, there, do you ever get requests from the press?
Mm-hmm.
And how does that work?
Just tear it up.
So are you personally are declining?
Well, I don't like kind of back.
Would they allow you to talk with them? Would they allow Minnie to talk with you?
I don't know. I guess foundations have asked to come in here and talk to me, but they had told them no. But I've gotten letters from Denver station and whatnot wanting to talk to me. And then quotation marks off the record. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay. Anything I write.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. So I just tear it up, throw it away.
Have you thought about like writing a book or anything like that?
No, it's nothing like that. My mom and dad have been sorry.
No, go ahead.
My mom and dad was saying maybe you should write down how you feel or how you've been dealing with this type thing. Just write it down and that would be my story. But I'm just like, I'm not right. That's not me. I've always had a really crazy imagination. So when I was a kid, I even convinced my teacher I went to Japan over the summer or to China or something. But she said, you should just write down your story, how you cope with this.
Why did you convince your teacher you had gone to another country?
It was just what you did over the summer. And I was like, oh, well, it's China. You're so right. She actually believed it. I was really convincing.
So you're a smart dude. Yeah.
It was, and they parent teacher conference said, so how's China? What? Nope.
So earlier you were talking about how this experience you're gonna want to help people. What do you mean by that?
So like this couple letters that I've gotten, this one girl, she's in an abusive relationship and she just can't find a relationship with God. And I never read the Bible before all this. In Will County I read it. It's in the segregation hole there, it was that was the only book I got. I was like, okay. I read it cover to cover, and I never thought I could, being how many pages were in the Bible, but it stuck with me, and I've been reading it more and more here. I got a different version here. I've just been reading it, just writing down a couple scriptures a day, to give my mom and dad. Mm-hmm. They've been making a little journal and stuff like that. And my Uncle Johnny and his wife Martha, they're actually missionaries. And one of my cousins is actually as well, and they've been helping my mom and dad. They looked at a couple of my letters, and they were amazed at how mature I've gotten with the Bible and everything, the scripture, man. They just one gift that I did get was a good memory, as far as being able to memorize stuff, right? And that's what happened with cars and with the oil field. I can just memorize acronyms like that, and I've been memorizing a lot of different scripture. I can just kind of help people that way. It was there's been inmates that have left my unit and went to a different place and have written me just to ask, can you give me a couple scriptures to help me through this? Do you know of any? I could help somebody that way.
Yeah. That's good.
Do you get to go to school or anything?
They don't have any else programs here.
They don't.
It's a accepted or evaluation prison, so they don't. I think this is when they have a sex class in here. That's the only thing they really have.
Are you gonna go to that?
No. No, I always ask, why do people go in there? And they're like, you don't want to go in that class.
You just stay away from that class.
I'm okay. Yeah, that's the only thing they have here, but they have other, that's the map of the prisons they have here.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier.
Oh, wow.
They have a lot here.
3 right in this area.
Yep, they're down here. I was just amazed that one thing I did see out the window when there was a neighborhood that was right next to the prison. Yeah, so just is that
the same thing?
Yeah, weird? It's in Colorado, it seems they're all out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they're on the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hey, you see?
Well, we might take a little break right now.
I think it's almost time for you to eat lunch.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but like the polygraph, everything just like, I look up the time, I'm like, oh, wow.
It's been 4 hours. Holy cow.
They might let us come back and help you.
Okay,
There might be a couple more things we want to go over. Is that something you're up for?
awesome.
Okay. And then the other thing is, we might be back in a month and a year and 2 years, if you're up for it. Now that's way down the road, but I guess maybe in the back of your mind, just think about that. And I hope so far today's been all right for you.
Yeah, it's been, honestly, when I walked in, I was just like, wait, I know these.
Where do I know these guys?
I look at you, I'm like that's not the site counselor, that's, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
They're Colorado people.
So then let's pass that A&E sergeant, I was like, all right, who am I meeting? I go, not the A&E sergeant.
So there's a possibility we might not make it back today. I just want to let you know, but we might. We really appreciate you talking to us.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Total, took me off guard, I had no idea, so
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. And again, this isn't to, the case is over, close, so that's not what today's about. We really appreciate it. You did a lot of things really well, really good. Made a lot of good decisions. Obviously, we're here because of just one bad decision, but I think that you've taken steps to get past that. So, yeah, we might come back after lunch if that's all right.
that's fine.
Okay, cool. Let me go see if I can grab somebody.
So that's what you guys plan to?
Yeah,
I think I had the better drive.
I think you probably did.
Mine was like 50 minutes. Theirs was like 2 hours. It
Yeah.
was snowing. It's pretty
Like
nasty out there.
effect.
Yeah, the wind's blowing.
Not like wind like Colorado then?
So it's a hell of a lot colder.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, the roads aren't getting cleared like they would get cleared in Colorado. I think they just have so much.
Yeah, it
out
just
there.
comes in and just gone.
Yeah.
Colorado, it just melts within a couple hours.
Right.
Here, just honestly, I haven't seen it melt here. So
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's
Yeah,
houses are
piles.
just piled, you know, like, oh, it's the next snow, and they just pile it on top. So it doesn't look like anything melts.
No.
Which is the problem. So
Okay.
do you guys go outside for rec or anything, or?
No, no, when it's, has to be over 50 degrees.
Oh, you won't be out for a while.
No, they have like a rec, like a little basketball court down the hall from where my unit is, so we get there about 5 days a week for like 40 minutes.
Nice.
It's a good chance to just get out and just run around a little bit, just stretch your legs a little bit.
Yeah.
Any weights or anything you can use?
Yeah, there's some weights in there. We go with another unit, and they're it's the infirmary unit that goes with us, and most of them are like in wheelchairs and whatnot. So we kind of like, I just like let them do. I don't want to get in their way. Just like let them like. There's like the pull downs and the lats and all that kind of road machine and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I think they have like a track or something like that you can run around. Once we can go outside. Colorado, they let you go outside. Like, I never went outside, but like the DRDC, they just said, "Do you want to go outside? Let you go outside. That's cold." Thanks.
Buyer beware.
Like, hey, should I go eat more wreck today? You're like, no. No, it's like 30 degrees outside. You can go outside if you want. It's like, okay. But their version of wreck was like they put you on a little cage and let you like kind of walk around for a little bit.
Yeah.
At DRDC, it was a little different there.
If we don't want to come back, I just want to let you know, I talked to your dad the other day.
Okay.
And just to get your property released to him.
Oh, the phone and stuff.
Yeah, your
Okay.
phone and what else?
Wallet.
Your wallet.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have some other stuff too, so, but I have to wait for the DA to release all that stuff and
Okay.
red tape crap, so.
Gotcha.
Then we'll send it off to him.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I know you wanted my phone, just that there's a lot of pictures on there.
That's what it said, yeah.
I think I had that phone since like 2016, so there's a good amount on there.
Yeah,
If we don't make it back today, it's going to be because of some of their scheduling. It's not that we don't want to talk to you tomorrow. It's fine. There's more things we can't talk about.
Okay.
But if we don't make it back, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, it's a holiday, so I figured they'd be pretty much open.
Yeah.
So I didn't see many people walking through the hallways and like came down. Usually there's a ton.
A visitor or what?
No, just 20 people, just like workers walking up and down.
Oh,
Seemed pretty sparse.
yeah, it did seem sparse, didn't it?
That was one thing I was talked about when I walked around here. I was always used to seeing everybody in handcuffs walking around the hallways.
Yeah.
Here.
That is interesting, right? I thought the same thing. I couldn't tell who was who.
Yeah, it's like
You can't necessarily tell.
you see the red tag, it's like an inmate, but it's somebody else. Somebody works there.
Oh,
Or like somebody that's like actual civilian works here.
so then you're not in shackles and handcuffs that often?
I haven't been since I got here.
You're kidding. Huh.
That's why I was amazed. I was like, when the guy took me in the hallway, I was like, anything? No, just keep walking.
Yeah.
That's my psych counselor was saying. This isn't max when she first got here. Like, no, it's like max or something. It's just like, you know, if you want to act up, they'll put
Don't
you in.
use it. You'll learn no shackles back.
Oh yeah, they'll put you in handcuffs, take you to the hole,
Yeah.
and then they'll ship you out of here.
They have a solitary here.
Oh yeah, they'll strap you out to a bed.
Oh, yeah? Jeez.
Can't move.
Yeah.
A reminder of, yeah, behave, right?
Yeah, it's like don't
Not that you
don't
need it,
don't
but-
pass through. Don't pass anything that's not yours. Otherwise, they're gonna.
Do you get to buy like commissary and stuff?
It's different here. It's like a bubble sheet instead of like Colorado is like a little touch screen you do.
Uh-huh.
But here's like a little Scantron. You send it off to like Missouri, and it's the same company, but it just takes longer to get here. Yeah, it's
Like what kind of stuff can you buy?
like ramen soup and peanut butter and oatmeal, like lemonade mix, stuff like that. I usually just get the oatmeal soup.
Do your parents put money on your books then?
Yeah, I'm not sure how like that restitution stuff's gonna work. I'm sure like that'll like whoever sent me money on the canteen will probably like it'll take a little bit of it too.
Oh, yeah.
It's right here.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you.
We came back.
How's it going?
How's lunch?
It was macaroni and cheese and a bun and some milk. So it was good.
Oh, that's not
It's just
bad.
everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk or regular?
I'll just regular milk.
Oh,
Chocolate milk's, I guess that's like,
special.
special.
It is a holiday today, you know that.
I know, but I think they had chocolate milk on Christmas. Oh, but
Oh, really?
yeah, they got milk with everything here, obviously, you know, the state. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Love the dairy.
the dairy state.
they got cheese with a lot of stuff too. So
Macaroni and cheese.
yeah,
Well, we brought you some non-lactose Powerade if you'd like it.
seriously?
Yeah, all yours.
Oh, thank you. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So we don't want to take you, all day. And we really do appreciate being able to sit down and talk with us. There's a few things we want to kind of clear up, wrap up, and then get any questions for us. That'd be fine too. Don't forget. Did you want to talk about Ronnie real bit or?
I talked to your dad, we were at lunch.
Oh, okay.
And, a couple things we talked about, your property and, waiting on the DA's office. But then the reason he called was, Dave calling.
Yes, well.
Yeah, he's gonna go pick up some of your personal items out of the house
Okay.
today, so,
Okay.
yeah, so I'll let you know that.
Okay.
We didn't tell him anything about what we talked
No,
about.
he doesn't know where.
He doesn't even know we're here.
Oh, okay. He just lives like around the corner from me, so
Right.
I mean, good.
Yeah, so he just, a lot of times when anybody goes over there, they usually call just so I can give everybody a heads up, probably, if the neighbors calling and saying somebody's getting into the house.
Okay.
So that's why we do that.
Okay. Has anybody been like checking on the house, making sure like pipes haven't broken and all that kind of stuff?
Water's off,
Okay, good.
I do know that.
I was worried about like, sprinkling and all that stuff. I usually blow them out and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Figured
Yeah,
that way anybody was actually going through it or watching it or anything.
the water's been off for a while, I do know that, the power's still on there, so,
Oh, it is?
yeah.
So, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it, but we need to get a tiny bit more into the weeds and into the mechanics of the time you showed up at the house when Officer Coonrod was there,
Okay.
till the time when we were all done talking.
Okay.
So that includes at the house, that includes at the oil site, and everything.
Okay.
And part of the reason you need to get into that is, I mentioned before how we're just really want to get into the mindset of what happened. And you can imagine this is really important for us in the future when we're talking to a guy that's in your position to say, you know, this isn't really a monster. This is more like a Chris Watts. And boy, we remember with Chris, had we asked this or had we done this, we really could have been better. And so that's why we want to get into the mechanics of it a little bit more with you. And that's going to mean exactly how, exactly when, where were you, what was, Shanann wearing, or all of that, right? So we really just need for you to take a deep breath and get into it with us. Would it be all right if we ask you some specific questions? Okay. So one of the first things we want to talk about was when you came home. So this is after they had passed, and you came home and met with Officer Coonrod. One of the first things we see on the video is you walking into the garage and then into the Shanann's car. Remember what that was about?
In your car?
Yeah, like I think you opened a door or something.
Yeah, you opened the passenger door, and it looks like you were looking for something, or maybe you picked something up. Do you recall what that was?
Not that I'm aware of, not looking for anything, but maybe just opening the car door to see if, see if her, cause I think he was saying, I think I see the car seat still in there.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I was,
Okay.
when I opened up the door, I looked in just it's like your first reaction of whatever, everybody's just waiting, pretty much waiting to get in the house.
Right. Okay.
So I wasn't looking for anything as far as just specific or anything, but I was just, I don't know, this reaction going in there and saying, I know everybody's there, I don't know what's gonna happen when they share a house.
You just out of nervousness, maybe?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was out of nervousness.
Sure. Okay.
And then back me up a tiny bit, I jumped forward to. So she comes home at 2 a.m. She gets into bed. Was when you guys had sex together, was that pretty quickly after she came home?
I think it was around 2:30 because I felt like she'd be in bed for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And forgive me, it's not a pervy thing, but she woke you up?
Yeah, she was just, I could feel like a hand was on me, rubbing my leg or my chest or something like that.
And then that was, signal it's go time type thing?
Pretty much, she was yeah.
Okay, I get it. And then that was maybe half an hour after. And then after that, is there any talking? Or was it just kind of
And just
quiet in the middle of the night?
yeah. Just I just felt her hand around me, I'm just like, what? And it was,
Time to go.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. All right. Then a couple hours of sleep, alarm goes off. Okay. I guess what I don't understand is, so then there was some talking, and then how did you get on top of her? How did that happen?
it's like when I got into bed, because she was laying, when she was sleeping, she was laying face down, which she really never does.
Okay.
And I just got into bed and I kind of nudged her and then she kind of rolled over and then I was just right there on top of her.
Okay. And so that was after you gotten ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go down, you make your food.
Oh yeah, I got house cheese and other things that I would make that food that day.
Okay. And then, so we talked a little bit earlier today about, there was all of these things playing in your mind where you just didn't even want to go another second without having this conversation or without some sort of completion, right? Mm-hmm. And then so you come back, she's asleep, and then you just kind of nudge her.
But yeah, I just kind of hey, look up for a second.
And was there nudge talk for 20 minutes, or was it just nudge and then all of a sudden you're on top of her?
No, it's pretty much on top.
Okay, so that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's how we kind of pretty much talked. Okay. That was just right there.
And was there talking?
Yeah.
Okay, and so a nudge, a talk, she's laying down and you're standing up?
I crawled back, I got on my side of the bed.
Uh-huh.
And I just nudged her like that.
Oh, okay. And then you're talking while you're on top of her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That seems confusing to me. Is that actually what happened? Okay. And so...
She was fine, just laying there when you trying to talk to her while you're up there?
Maybe I thought we were going to have sex together or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how long did you talk?
About 15, 20 minutes.
Really? In that position? Okay. And was there any sex?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I'm basically from position never in. Maybe she thought maybe I'd try to go again. I don't know.
Okay. And I don't harp on it too much, but I'm just trying to think, if my wife's 4 months pregnant and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I want to talk and I want to get on top of her, that's just not going to fly. So that's why I'm confused. So, is that really what happened here? Okay. And then talk for about 15 minutes and then it's heated and then your hands are on her neck. Okay. All right.
What did the talk of?
Basically, it just not how. At first, it was more of like the selling the house type of thing, or not going to Aspen, or trying to maybe go in at a different time, and then just switched all to the I feel like I'm not with you anymore, not compatible. Went with that, and that's when I got to the heated part of it.
Did she ever say at some point, get off of me or anything like that?
At the end,
And
that's what she said. I don't want you to feel like, because where I was kind of like she didn't want me to like to, sit down or like hurt the baby or anything. Just not.
Did she accuse you of cheating at that point?
Mm-hmm.
So what'd she say?
Like I knew there was somebody else. That's, I didn't come out to say, that there is somebody else, but she obviously already knew.
Then your response to that was what? Did she say no, there's not? Deny it?
Maybe I just denied it, but I mean, at that point. So that always, because when she would accuse me at the beach, it was a lot like there's nobody else, there's nobody else, or like, and when we got back home, she always like said there's got to be somebody else, because she'd always talk to her friends like Christina or somebody on text messaging, and they'd always say there's got to be somebody else. If he's not wanting to sleep with you, like he's getting it from somewhere else. And there's nowhere else. I mean, she couldn't really say I would get anywhere else because I was using those Antarctica gift cards, so it's kind of like, she just made me getting distant, but she knew, and that's mainly the reason why I talked to her, because I knew, like, after that night, it was just like, it felt like, I just felt guilty, more guilty than ever before.
Yeah. And then it seems to me, and sorry, I have a lot of thoughts here. So we know what happened and we can talk about it today kind of openly. And that's what we need from you, is to just kind of say, I know it sounds bad, or I know this, or I know I feel this way, but physically this is exactly what happened. So if you could tell us that, it seems then that it would have had to been a pretty quick transition from two people talking to this.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was like, I don't want to, like, I think of the last things which we were talking about, but it was, like, I love you anymore, and then she was like, you're never going to see the kids.
That's perfect, Chris. That's exactly what we need. Okay. And I know it's hard to walk through that again, but that's exactly it. So then, as soon as she started talking like that, then it was on. Okay.
But it was you saying that you didn't love her, is that right? Okay.
And her saying you're never going to see the kids. Yeah. Okay. I can imagine how that made you feel. Sorry.
It did more what it did.
Yeah. And then the fact that she didn't scratch at you or anything, is that just because it was so powerful?
I don't think it, I mean, it didn't feel like, I've never done that before, put my hands on anybody before, so I don't even know what kind of force I was putting on her neck. Okay. Like I said, 2 to 4 minutes, I don't know if that was true.
Did you cover her face at all during that time?
Both hands on the neck. Okay. And so if it's done right, I mean, that can be a matter of seconds before someone on their carotid loses oxygen to their brains out, right? Did it seem like it was that quick, or? Okay. Maybe a minute, maybe 2? Okay. Screaming? Okay. All right. Did you see eyes go bloodshot or anything like that? Okay. Okay. And
You
then,
kept talking about the mascara. Did you see mascara on her face?
It looked like it was like, that's what I attributed it to.
Was she crying? Is that why? At what point did she start crying?
When I'm talking about the relationship, about not being compatible. And when she's talking about there's somebody else, that's where she started crying. That's what I thought, I'm scared. I didn't know if it was it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Nothing.
Was there a pillow or something you were wanting to ask them?
Yeah, so was there ever at any time a pillow or the sheet or anything involved in like that on the face specifically? No?
Not like the sheet that you kind of wrapped around it. And downstairs or something like that.
The one that was at the site? And then the other sheets, they were in the trash. At what point did you put those in there?
I think that was,
Obviously after I was in the house.
yeah. I think it was probably the next day or so. I think I'm not sure like what happened. This is hard to talk about, like when
Yeah.
strangle someone out, like sometimes I guess they use the bathroom. So it's like, I think that's one of the major reasons why, because I think that had happened.
Oh, okay.
You said she was sleeping face down at one point? Was her face in the pillow or was it turned to the side or how did that?
Kind of like on the side. She was kind of like a side sleeper, but she was more down than usual.
Okay.
But then she rolled completely on her back when you start talking to her?
Now, as hard as that was, we can talk about the girls too, okay? All right, thank you. So with the girls, talked about how they got into the truck with you and were alive. Okay. Are you 100% sure that's true? Okay.
Can we go back just a second? You talked about before that Bella walked in though, to the bedroom. Can you tell us about that before you left?
Yeah, I was just getting the sheet off the bed, and she walked in. And she had her little pink blanket with her. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong, mommy?
And where was Shanann at that point?
Yeah, just pretty much on the bed, but she was face down.
Wrapped in the sheet? What'd you say?
It's like, she didn't feel good. That's when I tried to carry her downstairs.
Shanann?
Did you carry her like this? Did you drag her? How did you do it?
Tempted to pick her up and take her down, but I lost grip after a little while. I decided,
Did Bella see you do that? What was Bella saying?
she started crying a little bit. She's like, what's wrong, Mom?
And what'd you say that time?
So it's just feel good. She's a smart girl. She know what's going on there.
Did she ever touch Shanann? Try and wake her up or anything? No.
She didn't want to see her or ask to see her or anything. And so that initial time, did she see you put Shanann in the truck? So she was kind of following you? Okay. So she followed you and you put Shanann in the truck. And then what?
I got, Cece wasn't up yet, but she was just in her room. She was getting ready to get out of her bed. And then they were just walking around the house. I was put my lunchbox stuff in the truck and then grab the kids and put them in the bench seat in the bathroom.
Okay. So Shanann, is she kind of on the floor in the back? And they're just on the bench? Okay. And both alive at that point? Okay. Is there any reason you would feel uncomfortable to tell me that they were not alive at that point?
It wasn't a video or anything.
It's hard to see. Okay. And I believe you. I'm just, I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving you all the opportunities to be comfortable enough to tell me exactly. Okay.
And they were like,
Okay.
trust me, I hear that every day when Bella was talking to me on the site.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
When she said, Daddy, no. When we were driving to the site, she said, Daddy, it smells.
Oh, okay. So that goes back to maybe Shanann evacuating herself.
I don't know if it was that. They know that smell like a skunk maybe sometimes.
Oh,
So I got some kind of fall that way, but I don't know what that was from.
And was that maybe outside the truck or is that in?
I don't know.
Okay. What did you guys talk about on the way out?
They were pretty quiet. They, laid next to each other.
Okay.
Maybe Bella in her lap and JC in her lap, just back and forth.
Oh, okay. Just trading off like little ones do? Okay. Were they awake?
I think one would kind of fall asleep, probably. And JC would really kind of trade off back and forth.
Were they talking to you?
Just about, just saying, Daddy, it smells.
Oh,
It was early in the morning, they were showing up there.
yeah. Okay.
Did you didn't have to wake CC up?
There was the noise from trying to get Sharon downstairs.
Did she kind of fall down the stairs?
It was more like trying to get her down and from the steps, maybe her foot at the next step kind of thing.
Oh.
They're licensed.
So then, once you get to the site, tell me what happens.
So I get to that one site and I get Shannon out to that. Just pull over to the part right off the site there.
Okay.
And the girls are still on the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, what are you doing, Mom?
Okay. And then is that when they buried her?
I didn't tell. I don't remember if I dug a hole there first or, but they didn't watch me do that.
Okay. So then hold Shanann out, she's maybe just sitting there on top of the ground?
Yeah, like off to the side.
Off the side, close to where she ended up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then the girls, right? Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay, was she just right next to Bella? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then, so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face, my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And we're just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
Sitting there next to her, she didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. And then, did that take a minute or two?
Nothing. I didn't have no leg contact at the time at this
Okay.
point.
Tell me about what you were thinking.
I was thinking and sort of had
Yeah.
any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened, so I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled this out.
Okay, so once Cece's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What'd you do with her?
I'm not thinking.
Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up over the hatch.
And put her in? Okay. When we talked the very first time we met, when we were talking about this, it was a matter of just lowering her down. Okay, and so she went in feet first? Okay. Was she able to fit pretty well? Was it snug?
I think so.
Okay. Did you have to move her around a little bit and get her in there?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I didn't have to hit her
Okay.
my back.
It's not like you stomped her in?
No.
Okay. And then close the hatch?
Yes.
Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to Cece. Or she has, it's the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me at CC.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Rich?
So that soft voice she always had.
What exactly did she say?
Said that it's the same thing that happened to me at CC. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said. I don't say if I just said yes, like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way? Mm-hmm. Okay.
She said no, daddy, and that's the last thing she said.
Did she say no, daddy, like, please no, daddy type thing? Did she say, okay, don't do it?
She says no, daddy.
Okay. Same way, hand on neck, hand over mouth, or hand over blanket, which is over mouth. Okay. Did that take a couple minutes?
I like it.
Okay. Then what?
I just noticed she had a couple spots like over her eye or something, and I picked her up. Same thing.
And we talked a little bit earlier today about it. You don't remember why a different tank? Okay. And there wasn't a reason?
I mean, they're both same tanks. I mean, they're just like, I don't know why I did two different things.
There's one, I never got up there. Does one catwalk lead to both?
Oil can go in either tank.
Okay. But if you go up one set of ladders, does that potentially indicate you?
It's one catwalk.
Okay. Now Bella was a little bit bigger. Was she harder to get in?
It felt like a little bit.
Okay. And so was it a matter of just kind of maneuvering it? All right. So then they're both in there. Is there any reason to think they were alive when they fell in? Okay. You're pretty sure. Okay. So once that's done, then what?
Go over to Shanann, clear away some weeds and dig a hole.
Okay. Did you have a shovel?
Yeah, we have a shovel, a rake, and a weed whacker as part of our tools.
With that rake, if I remember right, it was
Part of it sitting there because it was broken.
oh, did it break as you were digging or something?
Now when I was raking without like smoothing the ground over,
On this day, it broke when you were doing that? Okay. Was that after you were all done? And it seemed as though maybe the first people that got there saw it. Was it stuck in the ground?
Mr. Watts, why did you kill
I guess it was like, not like standing up, but it was like laying down.
Oh, okay. Were you planning on coming back?
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah. At this point then, this is just before then, in a couple of hours, you would make it back home to see Officer Conrad. Okay. And so once she's buried, then
That's when people start showing up, I believe.
did you notice, was she cut or broken or bleeding in any way?
No, I mean, I know like the bloodshot eyes you were talking about, I noticed that at that point.
Yeah.
Other than that, no.
Had she partially given birth?
No.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember she had a shirt and think blue underwear on.
Okay, that's it. And so at that point, she was okay. Thank you. I know that wasn't me.
Can you tell us about, I don't know, obviously when the district attorney got up and talked about Bella's injuries and stuff,
I didn't want to hear about that.
right? Can you tell us about that?
As far as like her biting her tongue,
And ripping her frenulum, which is that connective skin from your lip to your gum, it was gone. Her gums had it looked like a hole in them and the pathologist said it was from her obviously struggling to get away.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Could it be that that's what happened?
So like, I didn't put my hand like over her, like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it would have been just downward pressure on her, this area.
I didn't see any of that when I got back up. Like, it was like her lip was like missing or something?
No, see the skin that
Uh-huh.
connects there? That was ripped, like, it was gone. So it kind of made like a hole in her gum.
I'm just thinking maybe it's like, maybe like if her hand was not her head was like twisting back and forth, could that have done that?
Yeah.
I had a blanket, I don't know, like,
Did you feel her doing that thrashing, or trying to get away?
I felt her head moving back and forth.
You did.
But I didn't know that.
Could you tell if she was trying to yell or say anything, or?
The only thing that was Daddy no, and then like some kick runs here and there, and like trying to breathe.
During that time, do you remember getting phone calls from Nicole Atkinson?
After before she got to my house, or after?
Just any time during that morning?
I think I didn't get one until I saw her on my doorbell camera.
That was what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay. And so at that time, had everything been done out at 3319?
Yeah, I was at a different site at a pumping unit.
Okay. So you went from there when it was all done, so girls are in the oil, Shenan's in the ground, and maybe a little bit of cleanup. Was there any questions we had about the sheets or any garbage cans or garbage sacks?
No, he answered those already, so.
So then you went from that site to another site to work?
Yeah, because at that survey 319, there was a little spill. That's where most everybody showed up there, because that spill that we were trying to figure out what happened.
Oh,
While you're on that subject, we back up. The night before, you had some text messaging about going out there. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was, I think, Friday that we had figured out there was a spill out there from like his old site. It's set up a little different. So what had happened was there was a downcomer, and then there's a side comer going into the oil tanks, and one of the downcomers is tied into a back pressure line that split, and every time it was dumping oil, it was split underground, and the oil was coming up out of the ground. And we decided just to go out there on Monday, because it was Friday, and he had like switched it out, or either he shut it in or switched lines, or he covered it up and see if it was going to come back or not.
Okay. Then it's more specifically, you talked, or your text about how you would go out there and take
Yeah, I was
care
going
of
to
it.
take care of it for him, because I've gone out there plenty of times.
Okay.
But I used, when another guy was out there, as far as another foreman, he showed me around out there like a year or so ago, and I just got familiar with the place, and I just oiled them out.
Okay.
and so that was a genuine,
Yeah,
that wasn't
yeah.
pre-allied. That was-
There's a lot of people that said that you wouldn't normally do that.
Normally help somebody?
No, like a field, so your position, not you specifically, but your position doesn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing, like when I was a rover and to a field coordinator, I still try to do everything I used to do.
Okay.
That's still like, I wasn't good at delegating stuff. I just used to just do stuff on my own, or just like taking care of it for somebody else.
Right.
I wasn't good at the whole like, hey, you go do this, you go do that, while I sit over here.
Well, you see what it looks like to us,
I know.
you know?
It's like-
When they came up, we're like
Uh,
making plans to be out there, that day.
But that's not what it was.
I was no. I was gonna help them.
So how long were you there? What time do you think you were done with the girls?
Hard to really tell. I mean, I think everybody started showing up there by around 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
And then you were there, did you say you went to a different site?
yeah, it's like I think it was either the 10:29 or the 6:29 or something like that.
And so how long were you at that site?
The rest of the day until I got called away.
So then that was, you were there for at least a couple hours until you heard Nicole Atkinson on the doorbell.
Yeah.
And then I think there was even more time after that until you started going home.
Yep.
And you got home at 2, something?
No, it was closer to 1:30, around there.
So somewhere around, 9 o'clock-ish, all the way till 12:30 or 12 or 1 or something, and then came home.
Yep.
There was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of Metallica song that people have been, someone sent me lyrics to it called Battery.
Do you remember doing that?
That was, Nikki got some lyrics, she liked the song, or she just wanted to know what it meant.
Oh,
So that's
and that's why you looked it up.
I just kind of looked at I didn't have the CD with me, so I didn't, I just kind of looked at the words.
And was that on the way home? Well, that was just a different time.
That was the time.
Okay, and so the media, so you got
I went to that because it said Battery.
right.
But it's like, it's more about like a family coinciding at the Battery. Not like, hitting somebody. Sure.
Why did Nikki want to know what it meant? How did that come out?
No, it was kind of strange. I mean, she's very into different types of music, and I mean, music I never really thought I'd ever listen to. And like, she got me into a few things there as far as music wise, but like the Battery was just something that she asked me because I knew Metallica pretty well. She just wanted to know, like, hey, what's this lyrics mean? And I just looked it up just to look at all the words together and just put it in my head again, and all good. We just made something out of nothing. That's what was strange. I got those lyrics in a letter.
Oh, so now does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, someone tipping the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
Like that guy from California.
Oh, the kid? The senior?
With regards to then when you get home, you and the officers, saw what they saw. You mentioned that you took the ring off your finger. And then the book, did you throw that in the trash? Yeah. There was another book, Body of Evidence. Does that sound familiar?
That you had in your cell.
The body of that Church of Cornwall.
Maybe. Does that sound right?
Probably.
Did that in Roll County?
What was that about?
That was just one they gave me.
Who gave it to you?
The deputies.
Like
Or-
things or?
Oh no, they couldn't give me books.
Oh.
No, any book that I had was given to me by their book cart that they had.
So you didn't ask for that book or?
No, they just kind of give me like, hey, I read some Brad Thor books. He's like a military guy. And Patricia Cornwell, my grandma always read her books and thought it was, she loved those books. And I'm not sure if that was probably one of the first books, not the first book I read there, but probably the second book I read there. But it was like they gave me, here's 4 books, choose.
What other book did you read? Do you remember?
The first book they gave me when I was in Suicide Watch was, I don't know why, but Murder at Something. I was like, I looked at him and like, that's the one we got. I'm like, yeah. But,
They handed you that book by itself, no other choices?
the next book I got, another guy that was, I guess they're overcrowded there, a guy was sleeping on a cot outside my door. He's like, here, try this one. It was one that was based like in the 1800s. It's more of like a situational book, like a time period book. So that was a little more calm with that one. That was the first book they gave me.
You don't remember what it was called? Murder at something?
We were at the Truman Center.
Truman Center?
Yeah, I think it was, remember the Kennedy Center. I think it was written by Margaret Truman.
Did you read it? Was it good?
It was decent. I've read a book in a long time, so it was different, but like some of the books they gave you, like when you're in the hold, I mean, you're not allowed to have books on their side of the Bible, but the counselors there let me have a couple books, and they just like, here's one to choose from. That's one they had. I told them like mystery books or something like that, and that's the ones. Okay.
It's kind of crazy they're giving them like murder books. Really.
But you hope that it wasn't some sort of insult or, you can only hope. Okay. What are you thinking yourself bad?
I don't know. Back when all this happened, when I was in Will County and everything, definitely didn't feel like myself anymore. Like when my attorneys would talk to me, and talk to some of my friends, and like some of the stuff they would say, like I do say good things, but I'm just thinking to myself, how can anybody even say those things about me now, being what happened? And like people that I knew and that I never talked to again, that like maybe I was like the roommate like back in the day, or like went to school with, or something like that. Now they're just gonna say, that's, you know, to Chris Watts, that's, you know, guy I went to high school with, the guy I like, you know, he did all this horrible stuff to his family. Now, like, I know I shouldn't really, you know, take to heart what other people think about me so much. It's just a matter of like what God thinks about me, what he thinks, what his opinion is, not anybody else's. But I mean, everybody can have their opinion about everybody. Like before I got in trouble, I mean, I was always the guy, hey look, they're judging somebody on TV, you know, like that guy that's the orange judge, that guy that's, you know, that killed that guy, that guy that raped that somebody, you know, like, oh, you know, that guy's horrible. Now and it's like, now like when we come out at like 6 o'clock at night and there's something on the news, like I try not to even pay attention to it. It's like I don't want to be in that position where I'm judging somebody else, because that's, you know, what people were doing to me. I don't want to be that person anymore, but I just hope that I can, you know, step back and kind of look at everything that I've done in my life, and then like up to that point, and just like I did some good things, but matter of the most important thing, I screwed up the worst. I just hope I can at least maybe help somebody, and however much time I have left.
Was it your intent the whole time you were taking the girls out there that you were gonna do that to them? Honestly,
It's like when I got there, I didn't think it was gonna, like you talk about the tanks, and I just,
yeah. Like, well, just
I mean, thought process, all this, none of this makes sense. That's why I know you guys keep asking these questions, because it doesn't make sense to me.
But I guess, I mean, like, you could have done it before you guys left
I don't.
and not had him, you know, alive in the backseat. They could have been with Shanann in the backseat or something.
I didn't think about anything really, like, as far as, like, how everything was gonna happen. I don't know, like, why I left everything out there in the field, and why, like, all this stuff, like, none of this makes sense at all.
But to Tammy's point, did you think that they might be coming back, or did you know they wouldn't be coming back?
Oh, I mean, that whole trip out there, I mean, it was like I wasn't thinking. It was like, in my mind right now, I'm thinking back, I'm hoping that I wasn't coherent enough to make that decision to where I knew I was going to kill my girls. I'm just hoping that, you know, like no father would ever want to do anything to hurt his blood flesh, but I did that, and I just don't understand how it happened. So, I mean, I even read books that say, you know, like no dad would ever do anything to hurt his children. So I always think to myself, like, was I even a dad at one point? I don't know. But it's just gonna take a long time to guilt and everything to get understood.
Have you asked for forgiveness from God?
It just takes a long time for me to forget myself. And that's one thing that's not for me. I just hope that they can one day forgive me too. So they were,
And I think you said earlier that you were so angry at Shanann or whatever that you were gonna, you know, anyone in your path of destruction or whatever was gonna get it, basically. That is what kind of made it sound like. I'm not saying that exactly right, but why were you so angry at Shanann?
I don't know if it was just because of separating me and my family, pretty much. Because, I mean, it happened at the wedding. Like, that's the reason they didn't come to the wedding. I mean, I blew up at my family, like, to a point where I said some horrible things to them back in 2012 that I pretty much told my family that, I don't need them anymore because I said, I cussed my mom out. I did all this kind of stuff. I never thought, and I don't know if it was just like Shan coaching me on to do it, or if it was just like rage that was like I'd never seen before. And then I don't know if it was just everything that happened in July, but they can't see my kids, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to go see them again. I don't know. And it was just like, I don't know if that had something to do with it, that something inside of me just triggered it, and it just like all that ends up from the wedding and everything, just like, it's like a long fuse that finally just went to its end.
What happened in 2012?
There was my mom and Shanann, just like from when I proposed to her, it was at the beach, and from then on, it was just like she always went up to Shanann and was like, I didn't need a ring like that when I was your age. I didn't need all these fancy things when I was your age, and just kind of kept boiling over, and we never agreed on anything. It was just like, we didn't really need their help to do anything. We just like, so we'll just pay for it ourselves and all that kind of stuff. And, it was just back and forth. And I think maybe my mom just never thought she was good enough. She always thought she was hiding something from me.
She always thought Shanann was hiding something? Like what?
Stuff from her past, or like,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
So there's conflict at a barbecue when all the families got together. And the first, maybe a barbecue that Shanann put together for everybody to get to meet each other. Two families, we call that. Like when you first started dating.
Oh. I remember we did have something like that, but I didn't remember like any kind of arguments at any place like that. I know like when I proposed to her, Shanann had her family come down to the beach too. They stayed at a separate house. As far as like a barbecue or anything, I don't remember one that was like that.
Wait for them.
Yeah. I remember the time when I asked Frank it was okay if I asked Shanann to marry her. Remember that little get together. I don't think.
So then what was the blow up at the wedding about?
It was just my mom and pretty much my sister just don't like her.
Oh,
They just thought, that Shanann had taken me away from them and moved me out in Colorado.
oh,
Because we were in Colorado and we flew back to get married.
oh, okay.
Because we went to Colorado for Thanksgiving to visit some friends. And we decided to move out there like a couple months later. So that was like April. I moved out there April 2012. We got married in November 2012, North Carolina. So they always thought I was just that she took me away out there. And then
There's something with invitations or something. The sister was supposed to send invitations.
yeah, there was, okay, now you'll bring some memories back. There's something to do with that, and then my sister wanted, her kids, my sister wanted her kids to like the Ring Bear and like something else, Ring Bear and Flower Girl. And then Shanann just told her no, either Shanann told her no or Jamie backed out because of something else, and then it just like all blew up.
And is that pretty close to the wedding?
Yes. Yeah, within a couple weeks.
Did they go to the wedding, your family?
My grandma did.
But your parents and your sister did not go.
Ronnie wasn't there either? No.
Nobody was there. My grandma was there, and then like the dance when I bring like the groom dance with his mom, I was dancing Mark's mom and my grandmother.
It's sad, isn't it? And it all comes from a place of love, them loving you and not wanting to get stolen. And
It was a great day. I mean, everybody was really happy. I mean, it's always just rang in the back of my head. They were there, and every time they took a picture, and just like, oh, where's out there? I never knew if they actually were gonna come anyways, but as far as like, you know, sometimes they'll just like, oh, we're just gonna go, just to be there, but they never knew if that was the case.
And so then when Tanya was asking, why were you so mad at Shanann? Was part of it just this whole family strife?
That's the only thing I can think of right now, because I mean, there's no other reason really to be mad at her, because we took care of each other our whole 4 years. It was like a good relationship. I mean, it's just like, if I never met Nikki, would I ever have, you know, thought our relationship was bad? Probably not.
Interesting.
That's one thing I always thought about, like, even Nikki asked me, like, if, you know, I don't want you, she said, I don't want you to leave your wife just because of me. I'm just like, what do you mean? She said, well, just, if, you know, if you met me, like, would you have known? I'm like, no. I never thought I would have strayed away from her at all. Like, I've never followed when I tried to follow anybody, you know? And
Was Shanann checking your phone, or
she always had my phone.
she was checking your phone? So how did you get past that?
I used to her phone.
To text? And you had some secret apps, right?
That was on my personal phone.
Were you using anything else to have contact with her?
I just texted her with my work phone. And like, when Shanann and the kids went to North Carolina, she used my personal phone. And she just told me, like, to put pictures in an app, and I just found that calculator. I just put, you know, just searched on the app store, like, hidden pictures, and that's the calculator app or something popped up.
Like in your iCloud or your whatever isn't linked together, so she would know if you're getting it, you know, downloading apps and stuff like that.
They used to be a long time ago, but when we got different phones, or when our phone, like our phone contact list be synced up from the cloud and stuff like that, I couldn't have, like, she had like tons of like phone contacts. I just couldn't have all that, but it's still kind of linked up at one point. But as far as like, she asked me to get my own iCloud account, just to kind of free that up a little bit.
How about your Facebook account? You deleted that at some point. When did you do that? And
I think
why?
it was, got back August 7th. Went to work, I think it was probably August 8th. That's when, Nikki told me she told her friends about me. And I just figured, you know, they probably looked me up on Facebook and see that she was pregnant. If Nikki already knew probably already, but you know, I did that.
Did you and Nikki ever fight?
We never fought, but like I said, I had to like calm her down a bunch of times.
Yeah, you started to mention that when we were talking to your report about her getting upset about some video or something about being bipolar, or
Well,
what are you talking about?
I think either my dad told me about that or Don Walsh told me about, like, she made a couple videos, like, when she was just, like, you know, talking to herself, saying that she was bipolar or something like that. But a lot of things, like, when she realized that, okay, like, she's the other person in the relationship, that, you know, I'd always put my wife first over her, and that's what kind of made her take a step back a few times, and then, like, I had to kind of, like, calm her down.
Tell me about those times. What'd that look like?
So the first one was probably around July 4th when I had to leave her house. So because she wanted to kind of spend most of the day together before she went to like a baseball game or something. And like when I had to leave, it kind of just made her like kind of take a step back and wonder what she was doing. And I just, you know, told her like, hey, you know, just because of what's going, like, just because I had to leave doesn't mean like, you know, you have to just take a step. I was like comforting her at some point. I don't even know why I was doing it. Maybe I knew I was too far gone at that point, but it was.
Because Shannon's pissed, she's called you 10 times, you were sleeping,
Yeah.
take your day off, and then you go outside to talk to her on the phone and then tell Nikki that you need to go home just in case she calls back and all that, right? Mm-hmm. So what did she say to you, Nikki?
She was in the shower. She said, okay. And then that's like, when I talked about, like calm her down, she's on the phone.
And was she like, we're breaking up, like we're not gonna, like,
No, she said like she didn't want to like she didn't think it was safe or it was good for us to see each other anymore that day, like the rest of that day, just because of all that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then she asked me to come over like later on after she got back from her baseball game.
And so you did that? So what was the second one like?
It was basically about the same thing. She was, I didn't really know it at one point, but I guess she had set up a couple dates with like some eHarmony app or something, and they never showed up. And she'd already made plans with me, and
Wait, what do you mean? She set up dates when she had plans with you?
yeah.
Why would she do that?
I guess she kind of figured out they weren't going to show up. She went, I guess when she went to the baseball game, they never showed up, and there was another one and never showed up either. So
So she's actively dating other people while you guys get together?
so like a couple weeks later,
How did you find out? What'd she say?
she it was one conversation where I actually kind of fell asleep on the couch, and then like she had told me like I'm not sure why she even told me about it, but it was very random, and she could tell that it kind of like took me back a little bit because I figured she would have told me that if she was actively still like looking around. I mean, she didn't have to tell me, but I figured
Do
she'd
you think she told you though so that it would hurry you up and
make a decision.
you're making a decision?
It might have been, but she never had anybody that's actually tried to like fix things as far as like, hey, like I like where we're at as far as like the relationship goes, and actually like I did stuff for her around the house, around her little apartment, and like nobody's ever done that. She just thought it was different.
What about our male friend? Where does he stand with her? What's his name?
Jim?
Jim. Thank you.
He worked in the oil field with North Dakota, I believe. And I guess it's been a friend of hers for a long time. And it's kind of like a shoulder cry on. Is always somebody that's always been around for her. And I guess he's had a couple girlfriends, and so I guess he's hadn't had much luck, I guess, in that department as far as like keeping girlfriends, and just him and Nikki have always been good friends.
Platonic friend?
That's
As far as you know?
as much as I knew.
Yeah.
But I think they just been friends for a long time, especially up in oil field, North Dakota, or whatever he's working on. I think either Wyoming, they go all over the place.
When Sandy and Frank lived in the house for 15 months, what was that like?
It was, it was tough. Do me a wager? No. Okay. It was tough, because I mean, go from just me and Jan and Bella and Cece to, 2 other people, and then now 4 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Onyx is he's a terror. 100 pounds of just heat-seeking missile everywhere. And like it was cool having more people around, but like it was stressful.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because with Shanann, like having 2 dominant personalities in the house, and with her mom there, it was kind of like what her mom would tell her kind of how to raise kids sometimes, or like, do this, do that, like whenever they were sick, she'd be like, all right, rub peroxide on their feet, it'll be fine. Just like, what? It's okay. And like I wouldn't do it, and saying like just do that because it's okay. But like it's just like little things like that, and
Yeah.
it was like a clash every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every time I got home, I didn't know if Shanann was pissed or if she was okay. Because when they first got there, they didn't have a job yet, and so they're just around all the time. But then like once they got jobs and stuff, like, and I think it was a little better for Shanann because they weren't around the house all day. But it was definitely stressful, just vacuuming like every other day,
Yeah.
and just like, I mean, cooking was great. I was awesome, but
Feel good cook.
I was always like, because they were down in the basement, so I was always really trying to keep the girls upstairs while they were sleeping, so they're running around downstairs, and I didn't want them to wake up. And so I know Frank always told me that trying to waking up Sandy early is not good. So it was just just kind of like walking on eggshells a lot.
Yeah. It was stressful. Yeah. You think that stressed your marriage with the time, or?
I mean, it was 16 months. It was 15, 16 months. And it was a long time. I mean, it was great around the holiday times, because they were already there, and like, you know, all that was great.
Sure.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, we never really had much alone time,
Yeah.
and you always had to kind of plan it out. So,
Yeah. What was her purpose for living out there?
they just wanted to be close to the kids.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know, we FaceTime a lot, but, you know, it's not the same as, like, you know,
All right.
the two kids, it's hard to fly back and forth. I mean, when they went back to North Carolina this past time, it was the first time Cece'd been there. She was 3.
No.
First time her brother ever met her.
So were they trying to move to Colorado permanently, or they just?
They were thinking about it at that point in time,
Okay.
but, it, you know, what Franklin said, he didn't want to leave. Sandy,
She wanted to go back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a matter of, like, they knew their house wasn't being taken care of, and they wanted to go back, and because they had put their house up for sale for a little while, but never bought.
Yeah.
What about your financial stresses?
Yeah, the bankruptcy was something I never thought was gonna happen. I think I was back in like 2015, 2016, somewhere around that, but I never thought that was gonna happen. And I never thought, a lot of it was from the wedding because they just put all on credit cards. And so it was, and then the doctor bills from, like, you know, endoscopies and just like girls were, seemed like they were sick like every month. It seemed like some type of ear infection, which to figure out was just like, you know, put the tubes in their ears and stuff. There was like no different operations here, a couple overnight stays in the hospital for breathing and stuff like that. There was just, it all mounted up. I mean, I never thought it was that far gone, but, you know.
Was any of that from Shannon's neck surgery, or were those bills pretty well paid up?
Well, I think the bankruptcy never touched the medical part of it, because you have to be like, by the medical part of it, medical bankruptcy, and then there's like regular bankruptcy.
Oh.
I don't think bankruptcy ever touches is like student loans or medical stuff. You have to like be specific to that.
Okay.
But I think it just took away like a lot of the furniture that we had bought, and then a couple other things inside the house. Kind of alleviate a lot of we had to make the house payment by phone every month, and I had to listen to the bankruptcy skill like every time, and it's just like, I didn't know how long it was gonna take. But apparently it was, I mean, once you're in bankruptcy, it's pretty much you never get out of it.
You know,
I think it felt like.
You guys behind on your mortgage?
Yeah,
When I-
like earlier, and it's like, I think December 2017, and then January, February, March 2018. That's when I took we took the 401k out, the loan out to pay for that.
How was it that you were spending so much money? What were you thinking of?
Just, you know, kids and just other bills that we had, and just, I mean, I knew that they're always getting paid for it by the bell. You know, I never really asked Steve, like, I mean, I didn't even have access to the bank account in my phone.
Oh,
So like, I never really asked to see what it looked like how far, but I just know she'd call me and tell me, hey, can you pay the mortgage today? I'm like, yeah, cool. And that was, you know, from my little 4-wheeler incident where I sold it without actually paying it off yet, and she thought like, no, you're never touching that account ever. So I'm like, okay, that's cool with me. But I never saw the account or what was in there. I just like, hey, there's my, like, when I worked at Longmont Ford, I got my check, I just brought it there.
yes.
So,
There was a hair care company, I think it's called Monat. Does that ring a bell? You know anything about that? Like maybe hair dye? I don't know. Looks like do you know if she did like an auto order for that company, had stuff delivered? Any kind of hair product or hair care dye?
that's something, I mean, she had like there's something like little gift packs she had delivered once every month or once every 2 months. Had like a different array of different products in it.
Don't remember where it's from.
Like we said, Monet.
Monat, M-O-N-A-T. No.
Well, okay.
There was an order that was made like 251, that's why I asked if it was like an auto order type.
It might have been auto order.
Yeah,
It might have been something that, I know that Nicole Atkinson, she's sending all that stuff. Maybe Shanann got her, something, or maybe there's something she recommended.
Okay. How about the HOA thing? What happened there?
She was mailing to the wrong address. They changed her address and she'd mailed to the wrong address for a year. And then we got a letter in the mail where he been like sued over it. We had to pay our HOAs for a year. So we had to pay double for either a whole year or a couple months. That sucked.
Put in all the money that's sent to the wrong address.
Don't know. I don't know. They said they wouldn't credit it or anything. I'm not even sure what the address was. She said it was just something that she didn't see. I was like, well, I wasn't gonna harp her about it because she did so much. So I was like, I'm not gonna like, say, what the heck are you doing? I'm just don't need that anymore. Unless she felt bad enough.
So Chris, what do you think we could have done better? What could have made you tell us the truth that night? What did you need to hear from us that you didn't?
Not really. I'm not sure what really goes to people's minds when they're in an interrogation room. When I was in there with you and Graham, I was just nervous. I knew I had done something wrong. And I knew you probably already knew or already wanted to find out. And it's just like, I've watched enough, it's like TV shows to kind of see like, okay, what's going to happen next type thing. I never knew if that's right. But I think it's just the horror of like knowing what you did and trying to tell somebody else what you did. That's what kept me from doing it, because I didn't even want to admit to myself that I had done anything. So I knew what I had done. I knew how bad, horrific it was. I knew how bad I was going to hurt other people. I just couldn't even admit to myself that I had done it, because I couldn't even tell my attorneys I did it until like 2 weeks later.
So were you trying to save us from the horror?
No,
or
it was just a matter of I couldn't admit to myself, or how could I admit it to you?
So do you think any amount of us asking you things different ways would have helped, or do you think anything would have helped?
I think if maybe you didn't ask about if Shanann hurt the kids, you would ask the other, if something in a different order of question, maybe it would have came out a different way. Because that's the only reason I went with that for, is because that was...
Well, you weren't giving us anything.
I know.
That was the problem. But
No.
so if we would have said, what do you think?
You would have said, I think you'd have probably had to, if the video didn't show them in the truck, you probably had to have lied and just said, we saw the kids in the truck. I mean, I hate to say you would have to, lie to get me to say what you wanted me to say, but it might have been that.
That we saw the kids in the truck?
When we were talking, there was a point where you just said, "Can I talk to my dad?" You just want to tell him first.
I just wanted to, tell him that, that I love him and that it's probably the last time we're going to see me again, as far as, outside of a cell.
You looking forward to it coming?
Yeah, because we're just talking on the phone, it's just totally different when you see him, you see a face, It's like when we got on that little video conference in Will County, it was like, that was all I could do, just not to just break down and have fun with him, so. It'd be good to see them
What do you get to do when they're here?
like this.
Like in a room like this with a
If
big...
there's a visiting center, like down in my unit, and I don't know what it looks like, but I know they said it's like tables, and it's pretty much they set up a time and get a couple hours.
That's
Just,
good.
yeah, it's just in that little center, and I'm not sure what else is in there, but I just know there's tables. I think it's like vending machine and stuff like that. But it'll be good to see them, and fortunately they can't bring their phones in or anything, so I was hoping they could maybe show me a video or two, but I don't have for a picture. But they pretty much want to let you come in with your ID. That's it.
Can they mail you still photos or anything like that?
Yep, they can do the still photo. This is sometimes they try to play a video over the phone for me, and it's like, you know, it's really like fuzzy and crackle a lot. It's really can't hear anything.
Do you have any other questions for us, or do you ever wonder why they did this, or wonder why the investigation went this way, or?
I think the first time I was brought in, I think it was like the 14th, I believe, when I met you that night. I mean, you told me there was a bunch of other people coming in for statements. Was that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a couple people.
Okay.
yeah.
There were a lot.
There were a lot, actually, yeah.
So I
We had a
think,
whole board worth of people listed, and you can tell.
They didn't get the attention you might have, right? But
yeah, I just wish none of this had ever happened, honestly. It was like you guys could have never had to come with them. You guys never had to meet me or anything like that. None of it ever felt real. Especially like when they put me in that suicide watch cell, and the last thing that one of those guys said was like, "Good luck." Just slammed the door, and I just kind of knew from then on that was it.
The deputy said that?
One of the guys in, one of like, they call them the SOG guys, Special Operations here from the Will County Jail.
Yeah.
That was it. Next morning, like when I got out to take a shower, I saw the newspaper and there was this big piece cut out of it. Just know what that was about, and I just kind of saw like my last day around, like, go. And again, it's
if we came back to talk to you someday, would you be inclined to talk to us again? Okay.
yeah, they just took me off guard. I had no idea.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to tell you we were coming, just because we didn't want you to have anxiety about us coming. Yeah, so we figured the blitz attack was probably the best course today.
Like the first time we met,
Right. Oh, you knew when you were meeting me.
I just did, yeah. You just didn't have all your props here today.
That's right. And so are props, man. That was
Sophisticated equipment.
It is.
Right?
Right. Sophisticated instrument.
I don't know that that's gonna happen. We might not ever see each other again.
I
But
didn't think we would, honestly.
your experience is definitely interesting. You yourself are definitely. We see things in you that we didn't expect to, and we don't see things in you that we expected to see. So it's very interesting to us, and it's. I hope you can take to heart that today was a lot about us learning how to do better, how to talk to people better, how to do investigations better.
I mean, like, I had never talked to a police officer before, or like FBI, CBI, anything like that. So that was all new to me. Like I said, everything that I've ever seen as far as, you know, the authorities have been on to me. So I didn't know like what to expect, especially when I got that interrogation room. Just felt like exactly what it looked like. Just like, you know, you guys cook and prod and then leave. Come back in, it's like give me time to stew, give me time to like, you know, think, and it's just like it works. It just really like, I don't know, just drills more questions into your own mind instead of like, you know, just staying in their room and just asking questions all the time.
You liked it when we took breaks? Like, you think that worked on you?
I did.
You were like watching videos of the girls at one point. Do you remember that? Them giggling and laughing and,
Like when I was in the interrogation room?
yeah.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I didn't, I thought you already had my phone at that point.
No, we didn't take your phone towards the end. Towards the end.
Okay.
That was weird for me.
It's like when you put that picture in front of me,
Yeah.
and that's what made me do it. Because I didn't have a signal in there, but that's like that video that I had on my phone. It was just like, I wish I had taken those videos out more often before all that had happened, but you know, that definitely got in my head a lot. I don't know where that picture was from because I'd never seen that picture.
The one we showed you? Really?
I'd never seen CC in that dress before.
Really? We talk all about a lot about that dress.
Yeah.
That just
You were
making
saying,
it up.
I never saw her in that dress.
you were even telling us when she last wore the dress and the boots.
Not that dress.
Those are her favorite winter boots, and she wears them all
boots.
summer.
Winter boots, yeah, but that white dress was a little different. I've never seen that picture.
No, because you talked about buttoning it up. You said, I remember because she just wore it the other day and I had to button up the back and,
It's been a different dress, but not that one.
huh.
That picture, was that North Carolina or was that?
I don't know where the
Pulled it
picture
off
came
from
from.
Facebook, Shannon's Facebook.
So maybe it was when you weren't there or
Might have
something.
been, yeah.
So you don't recall that, huh?
Because there's a lot of pictures I guess I didn't see when they were in North Carolina that my parents have. Like especially like 4th of July and stuff, and I had like 4th of July dresses on and stuff like that I never saw.
Oh,
Some I had on my phone, but you know, that white dress I never, like they were, like she was going to church or something. I just never saw that white dress. And Bella's little dress that she had. Her little awkward smile there in the back. Yeah, that definitely got in my head when we did that.
when we had the picture out there for you. See, and to us, it didn't feel like that because we didn't elicit any emotion. Yeah.
It's like my dad, it's like we don't show emotion, like
Were you fighting it down, or were you just not a guy to show it?
most of the time I'm not a guy to show it. Like I hold it in as much as I can and like, you know, myself, I'm crying a lot, obviously, but like I'm not really a guy to show it.
Okay.
I don't like it, I try to hold it as much as I can.
Yeah, you were a difficult guy to read. Especially at the house that day. That makes total sense now.
And because I knew it was like, just because I was like in shock or just like disbelief or just like, some people said I looked like I was a heartless, no soul person, soulless person. When they did like the TV interviews or something, I'm just like, I'm just glad I never saw it. I don't even want to know what I looked like, what I sounded like.
But you were obviously feeling it then, you just weren't.
Yeah, just like nothing registered at all. Everything was like just harbored deep down, and then like I think it was just one night when I was with myself, it just all hit me all at one point. Not the fact that I was in jail, but the fact that like everybody was gone,
Yeah.
and none of it. I think if it was like like if something happens to you coming in, like in like an accident, like a car accident, or like something like horrible like that, yeah, it registers at one point. But if like you did it, I don't know if like it just doesn't register at one point. It's like in my head, it never registered.
Does it seem real now?
Oh, feels real like every
Okay.
day. Like I see pictures, I just know like, where they were at when they were doing that, when I first had like some type of hearing over the phone, and I heard like Frank and Sandy and Frankie and them, they were on the phone, and I forgot what kind of hearing it was. Something about like a probate hearing or something. I knew exactly where they were in the back. I heard the birds chirp. I knew they were on the back deck, and I just like walked back to my cell, just balled my eyes up, so I knew exactly where they were. I knew how many times the girls were back there, and it's just weird how emotion is processed differently for me than everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like something like you said, if you lost your kids in the grocery store for 5 seconds, you'd be a mess. Mm-hmm. And then like, for me, it'd be like, I'd be panicked, but I probably wouldn't cry. I'd be like looking around trying to find them, but it's just like, it just processes different for me. I never knew why. Never know why. I don't want to think I'm like a cold-hearted person. It's just a matter of just don't show the emotion as much as other people do. When the girls left North Carolina, her Shan's brother and mom and dad were all crying when they left. And it's just kind of like, you know, I never really saw my parents get like that when they left. Kind of like, I don't know if it's like you're born that way.
Like your family doesn't show emotion like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, you know, my dad couldn't really speak at the sentencing hearing because he said he was kind of like, he said he was going to lose it. Like lose his emotion. Like, that really hit me. It's kind of like, I never seen him like, you know, like that.
Like vulnerable?
But nobody really ever seen me that way either. That's why, like, maybe I just,
Was it ever like you're a sissy if you're like that, or was it just, oh, you just never did?
I never saw my dad cry. So maybe it's just something that, you know, was imprinted in my brain that maybe I should never cry. Maybe, you know.
Was your mom like a loving mom, like a doting mom, and, you know, would give you affection and hugs and kisses?
Oh yeah, she'd always like ask me like, you know, what was going on. Like, she said I was always hard to read. She never knew what was going on.
But did she still try and give you affection even growing up?
Yeah, she always, my sister was always a parent. Like, it was always like what was going on. She'd always just like, she'd always open with me. It was always just, you know, closed off. And she always wanted to know what was going on, like how I felt. I just like, no, okay. I'll hear it. Even if something was wrong, like I would have probably never said anything. Because like I just don't deal with it myself. But I don't know if that just growing up that way just kept me in that way. Deal with things on your own, but then they build up so much that you can't deal with them, and they take a hold of you never thought, in a way, could take hold of you.
Do you think that was a result of just bottling up for so long?
Definitely.
What do you remember your dad saying in sentencing?
I remember there was a scripture, it was a 1 John 1-9, and then like a lot of it, their representatives said for him, and my mom said a lot, my mom spoke, but everything my dad had written down, the person said. But, you know, he was talking about going to Little League games and races and stuff like that, and going to being my coach and everything like that. So, you know, I could experience the same type of joy doing that for my girls.
I remember your mom saying she loves you and she always will.
Yeah.
That was pretty important to hear.
That big event, she said, I forgive you, son.
Yep. That was big, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dad, when we came here today, we were just hoping and praying that we would take your dad's advice. Do you remember what he said? I hope if you ever get a chance to talk about it.
Okay.
I think that's what today was, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was unexpected to be today.
So DA made some comments during that sentencing hearing about your emotions and having no emotions, or you remember all that?
Yeah, just like, you know, he lied to us from the start and a couple other things. I believe that's what he was saying.
What do you think? Do you think he was anywhere close to it? What do you think of, basically, what is your opinion of what he said? And then,
I mean, it's going to be, you know, taking all his evidence and putting it into the story that he wanted to convey. And like, if you don't know me, that's where you're gonna portray me. Like, if you take everything from August 13th to now, like, that's how people are gonna know. That's how people, there's no other way people are gonna opinionate themselves about me just by what they see right there.
right.
They're gonna say, okay, they look at the guy that did the interviews on the 14th, and they see, okay, that guy should be like, you know, on his hands and knees, like crying his eyes out, and what's he doing? He's just like, you know, he's just talking.
Right.
And they're just like, then I know, and maybe got some information maybe from like her friend saying like he was cheating on her or something like that. He's a cold person. He was, you know, trying to do this and that. It's like, they don't know me. That's always going to be their thing about me. Because like, there was one church service, the only one I've been able to go to in here, and so you're not defined by one moment in your life. And I think that's like, people are defining me by one moment in my life. They don't know like what happened before or what can happen later.
Right.
So I just hope that, you know, maybe hopefully one day people can stop judging everybody. There's tons of people in here that, you know, I don't even want to know what they did because I don't want to judge them. Like, you know, like, I'm not that person. Like, you know, they know what I did. I'm not gonna ask them what they did. You know?
Makes sense. You did show some emotion during that hearing. What part did you think you felt most emotional?
I felt when Frank was talking about, you know, I didn't know what to expect when he first started talking, but you know, he said I was the evil monster, and that rang in me, and he said I tossed him away like garbage, and that hurt. And you know, when Sandy was talking about that video about Bella was calling me her hero, and that triggered it a lot there. When Frankie was saying, you know, like, I'll never be called uncle again, but you'll never be called a dad again. That really stung. But, you know, when my parents got up there, just like, just hearing my mom and dad talk, you know, just like, they really couldn't look at me, but I just felt like, you know, everything they said, they forgive me, and that, you know, I'm still their son. No matter what.
Yep.
It was, I know, like, you know, my attorneys told me, like, you need to show a little more emotion, because I guess first time I went to the courtroom, I didn't know what to expect. I was still, like, new to everything, just in shock about what was going on, and they said I was just a cold person, just looking at it. So it's, when I did the plea, and at the Senate hearing, it just, all the felt was more real than anything.
I remember growing up, my pastor used to tell me, it's better to be 1 foot out of hell facing heaven than 1 foot out of heaven facing hell. So I think that's you. Been to hell and now you're facing the right direction.
Definitely, I definitely feel like I never knew I could have a relationship with God like I do now, but that's like the amazing grace with all of this, but I just wish nobody had to pay any kind of price for this. I know there's a purpose for everybody, I just hope that I can find mine.
Well, I think you're seeking peace, right? That's good.
It's the only thing you really can do right now is to seek peace, and pray that everybody can find it too. For everybody that was involved, like for all of you, and just all your team and everybody, friends, anybody that was involved.
Okay.
What do you want to happen with this information?
I mean, I know you're probably going to tell Frank and Sandy and Frankie, just kind of give them a little closure, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to tell them. Obviously, you know Sandy better than I. She wants to know everything. But I'm going to digest a little bit before I talk to them about it. Honestly, I don't think there's any rush on that. And, but other than that, I have no intention of talking to anybody outside of law enforcement. But what would you like to see happen with it?
I mean, I'd like to tell my parents, or, you know, when they get here, instead of like finding out anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I know, like, they've been bombarded with information from, like, you know, from the Amanda girl to the Trent guy to from like people going on Inside Edition saying they knew me or went out with me or had like whatever else with me. And it's like, I don't want them to think that it's like other like false information going out there, because like people are getting hold of information, like where did they get this information from type deal, you know?
Would you like to see those people charged?
You know, people take advantage of situations, and you know, they gotta honestly don't have to look into themselves and just figure out why they did it themselves. So I mean, I don't think charging them would help. I think they just need to work out whatever they got going on within themselves. I mean,
Did you ever have a profile on Tinder or anything like that? Any of those dating websites or anything?
I just had Facebook, I had Instagram. didn't even know what the WhatsApp thing was called. That's when I was like, John,
You never heard of that?
and I was just like, I don't even know what that is. Man, this guy's fishing for something. Well, just sorry you had to waste your time. Go out there and talk to him.
It was a big time waster.
It was a big waste of time.
Yeah. But you would not want to be listed as a victim in that case, as far as him being charged with like false reporting.
I mean, he's whoever's gonna try to get their 5 minutes, 50 minutes of fame, whatever they want to do with this. I mean, that's on them. I mean, if he's willing to do that, then he needs to figure out what's going on with himself before, like, you know, I don't think charging him with something's gonna fix that. So it'd just be a waste of time, I think.
Anything else before we send them away?
I'd be afraid to ask.
How things in Colorado now. I mean, since all this stuff, everything's quiet now, everything's, yeah, cool and
Well, we had another guy murder his fiance, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. So that's new to other news too. I'm sure you've probably seen that on the news now.
everything here's based. Well, I think the only thing here was like that Jamie Kloss thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh yes, we were just talking about that out front.
But the girl was kidnapped.
Yeah.
She escaped after like 90 days.
That's crazy.
He'll probably come here.
Yeah, they said he's in some county jail. Is that right?
Yeah, bro.
What you say? Barron or something.
Barrow County, man.
Yeah, so all that thing here is like stuff I trying to, it's like everything happened here. So you guys stay tonight there, watch out. Sorry.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Do
like
you mind if I take a picture of you just to show what you look like now? You just look so different than.
I just, you know, like,
It's not gonna go on social media or anything. It's just for like our own record.
okay,
Is that okay?
that's fine.
Were you asking him something while I was? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, it's like the roads in the background's very enough, you know.
I know. When it's snowing, it's horrendous.
Reminds me of the days of ice racing, actually.
Of ice racing?
Yeah, but we had spikes on the tire and that, so.
Oh.
All right, Chris, we're much to get back to your
Let
one minute to finish your drink.
yes, they will let me take that back. Yeah, I had to shave. They recommended I change my appearance at the RDC. So
Why is that? Just so people didn't recognize you? Oh.
yeah, I just shaved it all off, and that razor, like I said, the razor they have here, it's a single blade, but like I'm like,
Safety razor, right?
oh, it's more than said. It's like it's more safety than actually a razor.
That's why he doesn't shave.
Like a sharp rock or?
Just imagine shaving the same spot for like 5 minutes, and then finally,
Something starts
yeah,
coming.
it starts it's like I gotta warm it up or something. I don't know.
You better be better just plucking them out. Oh, with your fingers or something.
Probably more, you know. Everything here is for safety, so like, yeah, I think like once I get with the GP, I can have something like that. It's fine.
No, that makes sense.
Because most of the guys in here, they can't have razors, so.
Well, that makes you feel better, probably.
Well, they don't have to watch me. Other guys, they stand next to them while they shave. And that would be kind of weird.
Oh.
So do they have any other jobs, like if, like fleet, would you be able to go work fleet maintenance or anything like that?
Like I got down to like a minimum, or like a low medium. They have guys that like run across the street to like a records building. I work over there. I don't know, like, you know, they said it takes a while to get class down from like maximum to medium.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure like if they've here. I don't know if they'd ever take that in Colorado or know what their back would be.
Right.
I'm not sure if that happens or not.
Yeah. That's all pretty secretive and hard to tell them that they do it.
Definitely.
You guys gonna do exploring around here?
Just in snow. Everything's covered in snow. It's freezing.
There's such winds when we walked out.
We go run a snowmobile or two.
Gotcha. You said it was baseball season, but it's not, so. Good. Yeah. Brewers play or something?
Now NASCAR's back in full swing.
I saw the last 2 laps last night when we came out.
Oh, did you?
I looked at over like 200 NASCAR races here on up, so.
Yeah.
I went to one Daytona 500. Almost, it was one that Mark Martin almost won. I was hoping he would, but he got passed by Kevin Harvick coming out of turn 4. I was just,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was a wreck fest, I heard, so.
Yeah, that's why I heard I didn't get to watch them either, but. You went to NASCAR school, didn't you?
Mhm.
Yeah. That was fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was like my childhood, just reliving all over again.
Right.
Seeing race cars on dynos and doing fabrication, welding, all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. Not sure if that school's still over there anymore or not, but I guess it still is.
So do you have to be escorted back? Is that what they do? Yes.
Yeah, like the Unit man, we all have to have that course because it's a special management unit.
So guard escort you everywhere.
Yeah.
So what about when you're all playing basketball together? Are the guards watching you?
There's 3 of them in there.
Do you ever get in fights playing basketball?
No, we're just, I mean, we're, guarding each other, like blocking everything like that, but everybody's,
Or cool with each other? Good.
it's like, yeah, I'll take one.
There's right there.
You guys fly back tonight, or?
Well, yeah. Could have flown back tonight, I guess, but I don't know what time the flights are even.
It's probably the only time you ever come.
My brother went to school there, so. But I had never visited him when he lived there, so. That's my first time driving through yesterday. It's a cute little town. Actually, this town's cute. Honestly, like the downtown. It's a pretty cute place.
It's just so desolate because it's so cold right now.
I think it was like a couple weeks ago, it was like -50 with the wind chill here.
Oh,
Yeah, they said like the PSU counselors I talked to, she said it hurt to walk in here and breathe.
I'm good.
Yeah, they were saying, like, on the news, like, for people in, like, Chicago and all those places not to take deep breaths, so it's, like, freezing their lungs. Yeah.
It was insane. It was like deep cold from Canada that came through here that just like, it froze everything. I mean, it was so cold in ourselves, we were just like, going out to eat, we were like, just like shaking like that. The heat couldn't keep up with it.
not much you can do.
Plus this place is old, so like all the windows like were, they couldn't insulate it. Yeah. The wind was just like, just rushed in.
Yeah. Would you stay here if you could?
And I don't really know much about the state or anything about what's going on in here, but like from what I see, I mean, they say it's decent.
Yeah.
They said it's a lot better than going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's generally the word is if you hear it's not as bad as other places, that means it's pretty good.
Yeah, so like I'm just hoping and praying that I can help people here and that they'll keep me around, maybe they'll make me like a personal care worker or something. Help other inmates, mentor them. I guess they have a couple guys that are serving a life sentence that have turned into a personal care worker and the counselors that help other guys when they come in. Maybe I can do that. They don't have like the normal programs you would have, but it's not for me. Like some guys like they want to get like extra degrees and stuff like that. They don't have that here. You have to go to one of the other places.
So if you just said, I want to, do some more education stuff, would you get moved to another place, or is it totally up to them whether you can?
It's totally up to them. Because like I'm not sure how that gets paid for.
Right.
So like I'll just whatever they want me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. If they want me to move back to Colorado, I'll be like, why? Why do I have to move back to Colorado?
So if they told you that, you would question that?
Oh, like after a while, if I was here for a long time and then say, okay, since you leveled down, we'll move you back. I'm like what? But no. Know how that will go.
Are you scared to level down though?
No, I mean, it'd take years for that to happen, but like, I don't know. I don't know how it would be like in Colorado and a DOC there. A PSU counselor, she worked in DOC in Colorado and California. She said Colorado looks like California now.
Really?
Says she's had bad about the gang violence, everything.
You could see that.
Yeah, I can feel it changing. I think people up this part of the country are just different overall. It's really, you know, it's, we kind of talked about that earlier. Colorado's not what it used to be, and weirds and be nice.
I think a lot of transplants probably moving into Colorado from other states.
Yeah,
Probably affected that, because no, Dave Colon, he said they were moving to Florida just to get away from Colorado because it's they changed. Yeah.
It's just so expensive.
Everything's there. Houses just keep going up and up for any kind of like a half an acre of land you're just gonna pay same amount of money. Here I think it's a lot cheaper, but the pay is a lot it's much lower, I think, too.
yeah, I was doing a little reading on the area, and the median house price appears like 116,000. And you can't even buy a mailbox in Colorado for that.
No.
No.
PO box right there. What a PO box in Colorado, $100,000. I think I was reading like Pittsburgh, kind of like the same way. It's like what, like it's crazy to think about how much it varies from like state to state, city to city.
Pittsburgh expensive?
No, like
Inexpensive?
yeah, it's like 150,000 per house. And they're like, yo, I'm like, geez. But you know, deal with the weather and deal with all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, right?
Like here, I guess you got like April to September. That's your only good months here. The rest of the time you're in your house.
Yeah, I don't think I could handle that. Unless you have snowmobiles.
I wouldn't even like that.
Can't do that.
And starting using snowmobile for necessity, that'd be a problem.
To get to the store.
You gotta put a license plate on the seat.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Kind of walk around Titletown all the time. Mm-hmm.
Is that coming or?
Yeah, they just literally walked away with another person.
Oh, they did.
You gotta get to the end of the wherever and come back.
This place is huge.
It's a long hallway.
So how far is your pod or wherever you're staying from here?
All the way down that side.
All the other way?
I think this is like the west side of the building here. I haven't gone much farther than this. Like all my stuff's all on the east side. But they got huge like pods. They're like 100-foot running guys in them. So, but they move like 40 or 50 people out each day.
You have a cellmate, right? Someone said, oh, you don't have a cellmate?
Nope. When I go to GP, I will. I don't have one. Most of the cells in my unit are single cell. There's like 3 that are doubled up, but they don't have the overcrowding. They have that issue they had when I first got here.
That's what she was saying. There was like 400 extra inmates. But they ended up shipping out to different places, so.
Yeah, I never knew what the definite part of it was as far as like how many people they had coming in and out, but it was like people coming in and out everywhere.
So is it like a general supervision type thing like Will County is? So it's like a big room with the pods on the top, or how is that?
No, it's like you have a sergeant desk at the front of it and then a hallway of like 20 cells.
Okay.
And they just kind of walk back and forth. It's the RDC was like you have like a cul-de-sac of cells, 3 tiers, and then like the perch for the sergeant right here. You can see in everybody's cell just from looking around. Right. But this one's like they got to walk up and down. This used to be like a mental hospital or something. Like back in the day. It's definitely old. You can hear the pipes like vibrating around the walls, and it's like, hope that don't bust.
Is it like exceptionally freezing in here?
Cold and black windows.
Yes.
It gets, depending on which way the wind's blowing, depends on which side, but building gets cold. It gets cold.
Very chilly.
There was like a 6-foot snowdrift outside my window for a little while. It's finally starting to go down. So when it was like negative 50. Oh.
Yeah, it's a little too cold for me.
I mean, we're the ones that chose to come in February, but she's ready for you now. Although she is.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
See you soon. Take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Take a breath. Just take a breath. You just sat through the entire 4-hour confession. Every word, every pause, every moment where his voice stayed calm in places where absolutely no calm should exist. And you stayed. You honored Shanann, Bella, Cece, and baby Nico by giving their story your full attention. And that means everything. Type Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico in the comments right now, all 4 names together, because they deserve to be remembered as a whole family, not just as victims of what he did. And that specific moment I told you to listen for in part 2, did you catch it? Type "I caught it" if you think you know what I was referring to. And if you are not sure, type "What did I miss?" because I'm going to come into these comments and we are going to talk about it together. Now, hit that like button right now if this series moved you, if it made you feel something real, if it reminded you that behind every case, every confession, every headline, there are real human beings who deserved so much better. One tap for Shanann, for those babies. Now, before I close out, I need to come back to something personal. Sitting with this confession across both parts did something to me, because every time I hear a case like this, I think about my own parents. I think about the person responsible for their murders who has also found a way to live with what they did, and that thought never leaves me. But you know what else never leaves me? You. This community, every prayer, every message of support, you are my family, and I love you deeply. God bless every one of you. Regarding the meeting with the individual who has information about my parents' case, I am going in with my eyes open, with people beside me, and with every single prayer you have sent me. I will update you the moment I have something to share, right here, to my family first. Always. So make sure you are subscribed and your notifications are turned on, because you do not want to miss that update. And I want to leave you with one final thought as you close out this video. Chris Watts spoke for 4 hours, and across all of that time, what stayed with me the most was not what he said, it was what he never said. Think about that, and drop what you think was missing from his confession in the comments, because I think this community is going to come up with something powerful below. Until next time, my family, hug the people you love, say their names out loud, and never take a single moment for granted. I love you all. God bless.